Good evening, everyone, and welcome in to the grand finals for DMV Rivals Summer 2024. We are hoping for an exciting match here. Some have said that this will be the best DMV finals in the history of the event. I am joined by my co-caster, Prone, aka Interpede. Are you excited, sir?
It is a fine evening for some good League of Legends. I'm excited, man.
Yeah, we do have the two teams facing off. Big Rat coming up from the losers bracket, while Jason the Fifth, we're patiently waiting for them on that top side of the bracket. We are going to get straight into draft in just a second here. Does look like with side selection, Jason to the Fifth has selected red side. And we are going to start out with, there we go, a lot of top lane bans to start, along with the very powerful Talia going away as well.
No, pretty standard bans so far here. Gwen being taken out pretty early in the draft is a I would say an adaptation over the tournament. Gwen has been a really strong pick coming into the elimination stage, and especially in the past like 3 series with Night's Dawn. It was definitely a power pick in the jungle and a good flex in the top lane too.
Yeah, just 3 top lane bans off the bat from the side of Big Rat, and another AP jungler taken off the board with the Gragas gone. Still got some very powerful picks like the Ashe, like the Tristana available, and of course the Corkster coming in for first pick.
Yes, sir. Hoptech definitely not afraid of the current Tristana Corki mid meta, and it might be a Tristana answer here. I don't know if T-Cyrac plays it. It might default to some other mage, but yeah, these two marksmans in the mid lane and Ezreal sneaking in even have been dominating the mid meta so far.
Yeah, we also have seen throughout this tournament Big Rat be willing to push that Corki into the bottom lane. So they do have that flexibility if any big counters come up from Cyrac, like maybe a Yone or something that we commonly see. Instead, it does look like Jason to the Fifth are going to be ironing out their bot lane. Nautilus going to give them some solid engage. And why only stop at 1 support when you can have 2? We'll see if the Seraphine popularity keeps up, and it will.
Yeah, this is another adaptation that has slowly been creeping up through elimination stage. A very early red side Nautilus. Nautilus has just been a very like excellent blind support pick, and I think Jason the Fifth has elected to swap. I believe it's Dragon and Steel Tips. So Dragon will be piloting the Seraphine on the AD carry position.
Yeah, gonna be a different look. We do see that the second big engaged support coming in, Leona for Cridians here. And we'll see what they want to go in the bot lane. Is it going to be something more aggressive, like maybe a Kalista or a Caitlyn to try to punish the more passive Seraphine lane? Do they want to go scaling themselves? We'll see what Panma Jr. has. He's been a bit of an Ashe Corki 2 trick throughout this competition. So could just be Corki for him, as well as Lee Sin actually comes in for Yuta.
Yeah, so Uta has been playing a lot of AP junglers, the Karthus, Diana, Gwen. So seeing this Lee Sin slam down early in the draft is pretty surprising. And the Rise answer, a classic just scaling mid laner that, always has side waves, always has wave control. It's another comfort pick for Cyrac for sure.
Yeah, we will move on to the next round of bans. A lot of top laners were already taken away in that first phase, and now there's an opportunity to maybe take away more if Big Rat so chooses. But in the game Big Rat played against Jason to the Fifth, they did put that Lee Sin in the top lane, so it could be there for Starry. And I think Jason the Five, respecting that is a possibility, continuing to ban out junglers like this Lilia.
Yeah, that's a good call on the flex. I completely forgot that Starry flexed that up to the top lane. But yeah, I'm pretty surprised that top lane hasn't been picked that early on either side, I guess, especially with the amount of going on.
Yeah, I mean, the Scorpion's still up. That big reworked Scorpion is still looming, but so far, instead, we are taking away Olaf, Gwen, Aatrox, Camille, Wukong. The Scorpion's still up. Keyshawn has played it a good amount. We'll see if that's going to come through, and then maybe they're worried about the Lee Sin flexing jungle and getting perhaps punished, but I don't think you can punish Skarner. So I think that would be a pretty solid, quote-unquote, blind for Jason the Fifth here.
Yeah, this has been another... It's been so cool watching the tournament meta, like, within itself evolve over time. You know, Skarner was was like the bread side tax ban that they were forced to submit every single time in the round robin stage, but now in eliminations, teams are starting to find answers, and they're starting to see that it's a little bit easier to control Skarner in the early game, so teams have been picking good answers. And the Graves we see here on the red side as a blind jungle. Graves' Rise is not, like, doesn't stand out as the greatest 2v2. It's definitely a very hard farm heavy style on the side of Jason the Fifth.
Yeah, it is something there to make up for the fact that you are playing this Seraphine bot, that you don't have traditional marksman down there. Make sure you still have the power of an decent AD champion, but the side of Big Rat need to figure out an AP and a soul in the somewhere. I mean, we've seen Kai'Sa top, so I really have no idea what Big Rat is cooking here, except for probably a Corki bot, maybe? I don't know. And it looks like they completely griefed it.
Apparently, they don't know either.
All right, it looks like they completely griefed it. Utah going back and forth. I feel like the only AP... Okay. It looks like they wanted to pick Cassante. I'm gonna need a ref. I guess we're the refs. I don't know.
Yeah, K and A are kind of far away. I'm not sure about that one. That's kind of funny.
If a team mislocks a champion, immediately contact the enemy captain and state your pick. The draft phase will be restarted and picks and bans will be the same up until the mislock. They stated it within 15 seconds, so it is perfectly fine for the draft to just go back again. And we'll have to recount it, but yeah, it looks like it is going to be Cassante up there in the top lane. So I got a bit concerned about the lack of magic damage on the side of Big Rat. I'm curious what you make of that, given that they're not going with an AP jungler.
It's so Kai'Sa has quite a bit of magic damage in the kit. On-hit damage, like, overall, is Kai'Sa's thing. But, you know, we haven't seen the last pick on the side of Jason the Fifth, but their comp is not, like, the tankiest thing I've seen. So it's kind of okay to be missing, like a mage or, like, one true hard AP style. You also have to factor in that Corki has built-in true damage now. So that is another damage profile that you do have to respect. So yeah, the mixed damages from the carries on the side of Big Rat could work. I could see it work. It's not the worst thing, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, that does mean that the Lee Sin will not be top. It will be in the jungle. We've seen Sightless be willing to play the AP style, but this time he's going to be on something a lot more skirmish heavy that can maybe get more done on the map than the Graves and the Rise, like you said, that are going to be very farm oriented. And it feels like that's the theme across the Jason the Fifth composition, right? Seraphine's not going to put on too much pressure, mostly just going to be chilling and wave clearing. Rise is looking to farm up to get some items. Graves is looking to farm up to get some items. We'll see what Keyshawn really wants to play into Cassante here. I mean, a lot of the common picks like Renekton, like Camille, like Aatrox, like Gwen are gone. It's going to be interesting to see what he wants to pick up here in the top lane.
Yeah, I will say that I really like what Big Rat have done with their comp so far. You know, Leona is the biggest winner, I would say, of the Warmogs changes that happened recently. Warmogs Leona is very, very strong and is also the #1 counter to Nautilus. Garen is locked in as an answer to Cassante.
Yeah, I believe Keyshawn had a game on this in the earlier series. I think it was game 3 against Big Rat where he played it, and he had a pretty solid game. just running at Panama, hitting R, not really being opposed. We'll see if he can find that same success. But now that we have the 10 champions properly laid out in front of us, what do you make of this game one?
I will looking at Jason the Fifth's draft. This is a very J5 draft. I will say that right off the bat. The Seraphine lock-in, the Rise lock-in, Keyshawn on a split pusher, bruiser, and Jason the other on a comfort champ. That is a good matchup for him. This is a very comfort comp for them. I do feel like Big Rat has an easier team comp to execute, but it really comes down to the mastery of these champions. Is Uta really very comfortable on Lee Sin to make plays, because he's really going to be the catalyst for a lot of the early game plays? And is Hoptech and Pema Jr., do they have the firepower to really deal with the Seraphine, deal with the scaling Rise?
Yeah, we will have to see how that all pans out as we go into spectator delay. We will take a short break before coming back here for game one of the final.
You live yet?
And we are on to the Rift for game one of the DMV finals. Big Rat on the blue, and Jason the Fifth starting out with a 5-man stack on the red, but it looks like it will be spotted out.
Yeah, interesting level 1 maneuvers. The ward will spot them out here. It's a good call from Panma. Maybe they've done their prep already to drop the ward early. So not much will come of this. And Big Rat will also get their own wards on the red side.
We've seen teams constantly do this with Nautilus, just select one point on the map they really want to run to. As 5, look for that dredge line. Find anyone slacking. This time they don't. Both sides will just exchange some deep wards. And, I mean, looking at these compositions, we talk about how Jason to the Fifth, it's kind of the composition they want. Kind of scales really well with Jason the other on a carry, Keyshawn on a split pusher. On the side of Big Rat, I'm curious to see if Yuta can really get anything done on this Lee Sin in this early game.
Yeah. He's definitely the catalyst for what they want to play through early. If I was Yuta, I'd try to maybe look mid or try and force through Hoptech and really farm plates or farm or get pressure points in the jungle off of Hoptech, because this Corki champion is just really strong. The bot is pretty volatile too, so it really comes down to how they want to manage their lane, bot lane.
Yeah, they will have Lee Sin coming down to them. Graves, of course, training to the other side of the map, where we have this Garen pick for Keyshawn coming in for a second time in this tournament. It's going to be interesting how this one pans out. He's taken the Ignite once again, so doesn't have the Ghost to get out from any sort of ganks, but has that added kill pressure.
Yeah, Garen has a very interesting way of dealing with a lot of these tank matchups, where he just clears the wave in your face and then forces you to just trade with his Berserker Greaves or whatever. But yeah, it's funny that he's also playing Ignite on Garen, because he really, just like the game that he picked Garen in before, he really just wants to pin someone in the side lane with him. Because if he gets control of the side lane for 1 second, he will run that turret straight down.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how successful he can get. He'll have Graves up there, perhaps help him out. And last time these teams played in that winners finals, Keyshawn had the upper hand over Mariette. I guess Starry changed her ride ID. Okay, great. I'm so glad. I'm so glad we did ride IDs. But yeah, feels like Keyshawn had the better end of that matchup first time around against Marianne, and it was especially in that Garen game. Starry had a Gragas, and it was rough. It was like an 0-5 Gragas. It was not a fun time. We'll see how much better she can handle it with the Cassante. And Graves is pathing up. We'll see if there's any sort of shenanigans, but I don't think the wave is quite stacked for it.
Yeah, a full clear from both junglers so far. Both teams aware of where each jungler is, so nothing should be happening across the map.
Yeah.
At least looking into a mid gank here.
Yeah, he is just gonna recall. I do want to get your take on this bottom side of the map, though, right? Because there has been a good amount of Seraphine throughout this tournament, as Critians goes for a bit of a trade. There's been a good amount of Seraphine throughout this tournament, and it feels like this kind of inevitability, if you will, where he just kind of wave clears forever, and then later stage of the game, she just empowers everyone with redemption on a 2-second cooldown. So how do you want to see this bot lane go if you're the side of Big Rat? How can you effectively punish this Seraphine pick?
It's a little bit rough. I think with a Lee Sin, you really want to just play for the dragon here, and Kai'Sa has a lot of a better time skirmishing than Seraphine, because Seraphine is very skill shot dependent. But yeah, ultimately just trying to force them out of comfortable positions. You know, Seraphine, like you said, just wants to wave clear, just wants to chill and get items and then empower the rest of her team. But if you force her into a 3v3, or you really put their wave into a bad spot and they have to either contest drag or like try and catch wave under her with the Corki crashing down, that's mainly how you pressure Seraphine in the early game. It might be a little bit tougher at 6 because that ult is very powerful. But yeah, good trades.
We'll see if they're able to pull off. Marian hits 6, goes all out instantly with that advantage, but can't quite get too much damage down. Keyshawn going to trade back with that spin, and the Q3 not quite finding the mark. Ignite flash in is going to be traded back. 2 sums for 1. And now Graves working his way up here.
Yeah, Keyshawn not able to hit 6 during that whole trade, or else it would have gone way different, but on a nice edge there.
Yeah, I do believe the wave is... Yeah, the wave will push back, so not in too bad of a state. Marianne just going to be fine. TPing back, picking this one
Yeah,
in the area. Actually, Keyshawn's getting very aggressive here, but he's got Graves by his side. He knows he's not going to fall. As now Hoptech valking on to Cyrac, and Corki showing off the power of his new Gatling gun. Fully revamped from the rework, letting you do true damage at level 6. Great time.
Yeah. I mean, even like with that sort of all-in from the Corki, you can see that this Rise can trade pretty well, has pretty comparable DPS, and after I would assume he would probably get Zerka Greaves or maybe like a Frozen Heart later on. Can still tank the Corki pretty well, and with the Roa too. Seraphs, yeah, this Rise has pretty good build paths available to him this game.
Yeah, we'll see how successful Cyrac can be on that. We do see both sides of the rift just getting traded. Grubs go in the way of JSN to the 5th. Dragon the way of Big Rat. So they're doing a bit of what you thought with this bot lane, getting some early dragons, see if they can convert that into any further bot pressure. But with no flashes in top lane, that might be the first target for Utah.
Yeah, if I'm JSN the other here, I'm pretty happy with the map state. Getting grubs and trading for dragon is fine when you have a Seraphine scaling, so you don't really need to coin flip your bot side. And just staying ahead or even with the Lee Sin is fine, because the Lee Sin you will definitely outscale him. So this is pretty good map state for JSN the other. I'm interested to see what this Kai'Sa builds later on. This is just static first item into Rageblade, which is pretty standard. But maybe it might lean more into Poke Kai'Sa, with a little bit more AP heavy. But yeah, as of now, it's pretty standard.
Yeah, Poke Kai'Sa could be interesting. Rise and Graves, they are a bit more restricted in their range compared to other mages or other, I guess the AP junglers, not really the AD ones. So we'll see if they try to maybe play some standoff range battles if they go the poke route there on Kai'Sa. One thing I do want to talk about is the fact that, I mean, we're 8 minutes in. There's no kills to anyone's name. JSN to the 5th is coming off what is essentially a 2-week break, where they have not played a stage game for a while waiting for losers bracket to finish up. I thought Big Rat would maybe try to force something more aggressive, but actually It's time for an aggressive play in bot side as here comes the Realm Warp. They lock up Cridians for a long time. Encore finds its mark. He's gonna flash, but that Eclipse damage reduction is so good. Cridian survives, and now back in goes the Leona, but he can't find the stun as Cyrac flashes away. And Cridian's eyes got big, but now here comes Hoptech. The kick from Yuta to try to get Panma in with the Killer Instinct. It's Yuta now looking for Dragon. She's gonna heal a bit more, but it's not enough to survive against the Gatling gun of Hoptech. But now that wave is getting quite angry. All right. We had no kills for 8 minutes, but they let out all the aggression there.
Yeah, super tense fight again, down to the wire, super mechanically tight. You know, Cyrac is just shooting constantly, acting as the AD carry in this trade, and eventually it goes down a 1-for-1. I felt like Cridians was like kind of out, but just like went back in.
He saw the angle onto Cyrac. He saw the angle onto the damage dealer. Just didn't quite get it done. And I guess on another good note for Big Rat, the kill for, or the first blood rather, for Jason the 5th went to Steel Tips. So that Warmogs, I guess, will come along faster, but you'd maybe rather have the kill on the Rise if you could.
Yeah. Honestly, early Warmogs is not bad. I think it's a pretty strong breakpoint now on this current patch.
That is fair.
Support having all that HP to tank up early fights is pretty useful when you have a Rise, Seraphine, Graves just chucking damage behind you.
Oh, Jason's back in the bot lane, gets a slow onto Pama, but just gonna force him off. Make sure bot lane stays pretty much where it's been. But Optech, meanwhile, building himself up a solid CS lead. Cyrac got first roam off with the Realm Warp, but Optech responded eventually. So he's worked his way up to about a 10, 15 CS lead.
Yeah, this Corki's in a pretty good state. Scaling pretty well. Has the Merc Treads already, so Rise, Seraphine will not be dealing as much damage to him. Critically, it's now going to be on Jason the Other and Keyshawn to try and burst him down in fights. But now I'm interested to see, look at Uta, he's like at the grubs here.
Yeah, but Nautilus is there first. He grabs one grub. They actually want to go for Hoptech. Easy rune prison. And now the Corki's in trouble. He's reached the end of the line. And unfortunately, Steel Tips now 2-0. Wants to go for more. But Yuta able to get enough space.
The depth charge from outer space finishes the kill, or else he would have gotten away. That's that Merc Treads coming in. He survived so much damage from Cyrac.
Yeah, we do have a bit of scrapping in the top lane. But yeah, felt like the big decider there was the fact that Nautilus getting up to those grubs first. Cridians a bit later on the place. Just going to join up with Yuta to grab that dragon. As we now have all out in top lane. Marianne looking for a revenge. Ooh. Flashing forward and slices up Keyshawn for the solo. And now in mid lane, Solar Flare slow is going to look for the kill. Cyrac though with the Realm Warp. Oh, just on the Zenith Blade. Cridians is able to lock him down. 2 kills for Big Rat.
The last pixel on that Zenith Blade catches Cyrac and confirms the kill. Oh, the wraparound here.
Oh, yep, Dragon's Rage onto Dragon. It's not looking too good. All of a sudden, all 3 lanes have lost 1 death on the side of Jason to the 5th.
Yeah, and this is the counter pick Garen, too. This is the R5 they saved him for, and he still died in the matchup. So now the whole entire game plan changes. If you don't have the winning top lane in a vacuum, the map is so much more harder to deal with.
Yeah, and I mean, I was a bit concerned at the lack of aggression from Big Rat to start, you know. Jason to the 5th hasn't played for a while. Maybe you can get a nice punch him in the mouth kind of game 1 where they're kind of sleepwalking. Fairly passive, but now they're getting their wheels rolling here.
Keyshawn still wants it. He's just still fighting nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, those Iceborne gauntlets for Marianne going to make top lane matchup feel a lot better.
Oh, okay, so Luden's first item for the Rise is finished here. I'm not sure if I like that too much. I mean, I don't play Rise that much, and I haven't, especially in the current meta. So I don't know how Luden's is, but I feel like this would have been a great, like, tankier Rise build game with the Frozen Heart Rod of Ages. So it's an interesting purchase.
yeah, wanting to be more of a glass cannon here with the Rise. Maybe putting some faith in Dragon on the Seraphine to keep him alive a bit longer, as Keyshawn just needs to be able to pick up as much of the wave as he can. But oh, if that Q3 hit, it could have gotten dicey. But now with the tower dealing out some damage, Ignite down, here comes an all-out, and Keyshawn is dead again in top lane.
Man,
He's got
Keyshawn
Jason.
just wants that kill.
Oh, Jason the other isn't going to find the return kill with Yuta in the area. Now in bot lane, there's a bit of a scrap, but Steel Tip's very tanky right now. He should be A-okay. Meanwhile, Graves not able to find the return kill on top.
Yeah, this top lane is starting to look a little bit of a bit of a loss, a bit of a pick sink. I don't know what to call it exactly, but
You take the Ignite and you don't win lane. It's not a fun time.
Yeah, so now this map is gonna be so much more harder to maneuver with no teleport on the Garen. You're gonna be wanting to pin someone like this Cassandra in the side lane, but if you're not winning, it's gonna be a lot harder.
It will definitely be rough. And meanwhile, top deck, not an entire full-plated up tower, but still a lot of gold heading his way there in the mid lane.
Yeah, slowly the gold is shifting away from even. It was dead even for the first 13 minutes of the game, and in the past 2 minutes, Big Rat have accrued themselves a tiny, but still significant 1.5k gold lead.
Definitely good stuff from them, as Dragon now going to get poked off. Here comes Killer Instinct, and that is a dead Seraphine. Viridians should be A-okay as the dredge line hits the wall. Steel Tips now trying to make something out of this. He's got a Realm Orb coming down. Here's Depth Charge to drop Panma. Now here comes the Rise. Korean's trying to CC, exhaust him for as long as he can. Panma now flashing out. They lose no one. And now Yuta is here. Flash out from Steel Tips. Korean staying alive again and kick him right through. And hits the Sonic Wave at the end. We're diving back in under the tower, right where it started. And on the edge, it's 3 kills to Big Rat.
You know, I was wondering how comfortable Uta was on Lee Sin after playing AP junglers this whole series. And that series of events just showed me that he was ready to pull this out this game. Beautiful execution. The Dragon's Rage kicks him straight on the Zyrax, so he's not able to DPS. And he flashes out, and he ward hops the last Rise Q that would have killed him. Oh my god, just played beautifully from him.
Wonderful play from Yuta here. I got a bit worried when he kicked Steel Tips and he survived with a bit of HP. I'm like, they can't finish it, but he was able to weave that last Q in there as well. Really nice showing.
Yeah, no, that was calculated from him. I would call that calculated.
Well, now he's going to dive in onto Keyshawn Robinson, get the cripple slow, but Garen able to make enough space. Dragon up in 20, and it looks pretty favored to Big Rat, but Jason Fifth not willing to let it go.
Yeah, the Dragon win con.
Oh dear, that might be a catch on Jason the other. They're flowing in, looking for the Grey Seraphine, trying to keep him alive, but can't do it. Here comes Keyshawn, though, with the return kill. Steel Tips falls. It's now Cridians here onto Jason the other with the Zenith Blade. Marianne joining the fight, trying to go off on this Cassante. Flash fling onto Jason the other. And surely the Cassante can just walk him down. Super Mega Blast Cone from Cridians. And that'll get the job done. A 3rd kill for the Leona. And it is looking like a Big Rat victory, but they want to keep going. There's the encore onto 2. Hoptech comes around on the flank. Can't quite get down the Seraphine unless he gets the last rocket. And that is another one going the way of the Corki. A delayed ace, I believe, to the side of Big Rat.
Yeah, the fight started off so well. Uta just got instantly bursted down from Garen, but they didn't have the sustained damage after that to deal with the Cassante. You know, Starry is so strong in the side lane, and she is easily able to tank up this 0-3 and 0-4 Seraphine and Rise. They don't have that much damage right now.
Very good for Big Rat. Seeing them come alive now in this mid game. 3 dragons to their name. That soul fight will certainly be very important in the next 5 minutes. And it feels like Styrak and Jason the other, like you said, they're pretty far behind the curve at this point. They are more farm-oriented champions that haven't found their space to do damage.
Yeah, Styrak just really needs to scale. And Steel Tips doesn't have the Warmogs here, so look at Cridians. He just like walks into everyone, doesn't take any damage, just presses W, you know, steps in everyone's face.
There's
walks
the
out and
grave.
heals all his HP back up.
Yeah, there's the Graves full combo, putting him down to 80% HP. Nicely done.
And in a few seconds, he's gonna be back to full. But yeah, this Garen did his job in that fight. Definitely was effective in one-shotting the Lee Sin.
Oh dear. Cyrac losing a good amount of his HP. And we talked about Warmogs on Leona. Is there on Cassante too? Very popular item this time of year.
Yeah, just the raw HP does Cassante wonders. And if it's a Jack show after, it's going to be so hard to deal with this Cassante.
Might be a catch onto Hoptech, as he's just going to stand his ground and try to fight back with the Gatling gun. He's almost in ult range, and that's a kill. Big one for Keyshawn. As now Jason the other being chased away on bot side. Here's Zenith Blade. Connects with the Leona stuns. Drag him on back. And it's Panma Jr. on a killing spree. Yuta will not get revenge for his mid laner, though, on the top side.
Yeah, 1-for-1 across the map. A good cancel on the collateral damage from Graves. I didn't seem like the Graves are pushed back at all. So whoever canceled that, good job. But a good solid 1-for-1 across the map. I love how Hoptech just kind of accepted his fate and just stood there trying to auto him down.
It's like, hey, I'm not going to get away from the... almost like Graves. The Garen. This guy's got Stride Breaker. This guy's got the speed. I'm just going to see if I can, you know, completely one-shot him. Not the case. We'll teleport on back there, though. Now with that completed Manamune in tow. Actually, we may have a play. Nope. Play not going to find its mark. It will just be the tower going the way of Big Rat.
Yeah, and you can see how hard the map is to control now. Keyshawn does not have TP, so they can't like look for any cross-map plays or any numbers advantages. They have to just play with the numbers they have there. And your numbers are 0-2, 0-3, and 0-4 on your jungle, mid, and AD carry. So it's pretty hard to just take a straight-up 3v3 or 4v4 fight without your Garen. Like, the lane did go poorly for Garen, but he has caught back up a little bit and does a pretty significant amount of damage now. I don't know if he can lane evenly against the Cassante yet, but against someone like Hoptech or even Panma, they can definitely still stat check him down.
Well, someone they definitely can't stat check is Starry here on this Cassante, but meanwhile, mid lane, they find the plant to steal tips. He's gone, and Cyrac soon to follow. An all-out kill, as Korean's now just surviving as long as he can. Goes back in for some CC, still falls in the end. Bit of damage from Panma, not quite enough to take out Jason.
Yeah, I took everything and the kitchen sink to kill Cridians there. Sadly, the sacrifice that they needed for the 1-for-2 across the map. Big Rat are in such a comfortable spot here in the mid game.
Yeah, they just continue taking tower after tower here. There's going to be another one going down. And again, with Soul up in a minute, it's going to be an uphill fight for Jason to the 5th to try to deny that in the next fight.
Yeah, this Graves being behind, this Graves and Rise being behind, is just such a detriment. You know, they have no consistent damage. They might seem like strong DPS champions. Lethality Graves might be a bit of a burster, but they are like throwing pennies at this Cassante. She's not really taking much damage.
Yeah, we will see them start to grapple over space here. Starry on the top side is just going to walk down, and Garen in bot side as well. Actually, here comes the engage onto steel tips. They're going to go right for him, as actually Yuta wants Jason the other. Panma going to join up with Cradians. They take down the Nautilus. Meanwhile, on the other side, Dragon trying to get the encore, but the show is soon to close. That's going to be a quick 3 kills, maybe 4, as they're going in onto Cyrac, a double for Hoptech, and it feels pretty done and dusted at the 23-minute mark.
Yeah, look at Keyshawn just recalling in the tri-brush over there is sad. But yeah, these team fights are just so hard to maneuver now. They really needed to scale, but these like fights that they're losing has accelerated this extremely strong, easy to execute, strong team fight scaling comp on the side of Big Rat, and now that their DPS is simply just their DPS is just higher, and they can tank more with the Cassante and the Leona almost on 2 items already. It's kind of just like a walking stat check, you know. Like it's pretty impossible to fight them now.
Yeah, I mean, those stats are going to get a whole lot harder to check when everyone has the damage buff of the Infernal Soul, which they will get soon. Don't think Jason the other are going to get back on the map in time for any sort of smite steal shenanigans. Big advantages for Big Rat. And actually, nope, Keyshawn coming up to the top side, but this time Optek's got some help. He's going to try to Valk. He's going to try to flash. Keyshawn going to follow. Just looks for the damage. Looks for the ult. He gets the shutdown. But with Starry here, it will be a return. 1 for 1.
Yeah, if I'm Keyshawn, I'm saying worth. That's all we can get out of that. But, yeah, taking one Baron off, getting shut down. That is more than enough of what you can ask of Jason the Fifth at this point. But it is quickly looking like the game is coming to a close. Interesting Blackfire Torch purchase on Seraphine. I haven't seen that before. And personally, I wouldn't build it myself. I don't know enough about it. But yeah, interesting purchase.
Yeah, hoping to get up to that second item before this game ends. Try to show the power of this pick. But here comes Solar Flare. Steel Tips having to flash. Dragon also respecting the play as 2 flashes burned. Inhibitor is open and a teleport in from Hoptech. They want to go for broke here as Steel Tips trying to be the front line, but it's just not looking too good. Marianne is twice the front line of that Nautilus right now. Easy inhibitor take for Big Rat.
Yeah, they're kind of just beating Jason the Fifth around with their wallets. Just walking in and taking their structures and walking out. There's not much that Jason the Fifth can say.
Yeah, and I did misspeak earlier. I got confused by the objective timer showing the Infernal Dragon, but it is Chemtech Soul for the side of Big Rat. Gonna make that Cassante even harder to kill, and the Leona as they go for the siege on mid. Just sticking as 5. A lot of CC down on the Cridians. Now here comes Encore. It only hits onto 1. Cridians is dead. He can't tank up forever. And now flick back onto Nautilus. Steel Tips trying to get in there. Panma with the Kill Instinct to try to stay safe, but it's Sightless trying to make action happen. It's Panma that's unstoppable. I don't think Jason Fifth have much left in the tank, but they are finding some ground here.
Yeah, a 1 for 1 on the supports. Cridians overstepping and just getting caught by the massive CC chain that Jason the Fifth have. It took everything in the kitchen sink to kill her once again, but 1 for 1 in the end is not, you know, the worst thing for a Big Rat. Being able to break top inhib was pretty worth it. So yeah, they'll just reset now.
Are you surprised that they didn't put Starry in a side lane? Like, we've been talking about how far ahead this Cassante's been, but they stay grouped as 5. They try to force the issue in mid and lose their Leona.
I think Big Rat are just playing it simple, you know? Like, they're just so strong in the 5v5. Starry doesn't have TP either. So the idea might really just be group up as 5, walk at them, and hit their turrets. They can't do anything about it. It's pretty straightforward at this point, and it's looking like it's working.
Yep, perfectly fine for them to take it that way. Now Cridian is just trying to get some offensive vision here, while Panma shepherds in a bottom lane wave. Still have Keyshawn committed to the side lane for now. He is alone down there as another siege coming through, and that will be the last of the inner towers falling.
Yeah, Keyshawn taking the consolidation tier 1 top turret prize. Gets a little bit of a gold bounty back. And now Big Rat are hammering at the mid inhib. Yeah. And look at Starry just in the front, just tanking up everyone.
Yeah, just going forward unafraid of what Jason the Fifth can do. Keyshawn is back for any sort of fight, but Cyrus already down below half. Has to flash the solar flare. As now, do we have anything? Here comes Dredgeline, though, onto Lee Sin. Massive depth charge into the Encore, but is it even enough? They get Yuta. They get Starry. Is this the fight for Jason the Fifth? That's 3 dead on the side of Big Rat.
The Wombo combo. They landed everything they possibly could, and this time it works. They actually took down Starry. Uta goes down, and then Cridians couldn't take enough either. There was no room for the carries on the side of Big Rat to do damage. It was just all CC.
We finally realized the power of the Seraphine. It's been a rough road to get there, but comboing the Encore, getting all the heals off, and just making it very efficient when the enemy team's diving into you with the Leona, with the Cassante, with the Lee Sin. Not giving much opportunity for Hoptech and Panma to take over in any of these fights.
Yeah, Big Rat just needs to, you know, slow down, reset, not do that again, and not funnel straight into the Nautilus depth charge, into the Seraphine Encore. But yeah, we now really see what this team comp would have looked like if they weren't 10k gold behind. Um, but yeah, the Seraphine Encore is a very powerful tool. I'm surprised that Starry didn't like use the Cassante W to block any of that, or if they did, I'm even more surprised that it went through that, honestly.
I believe
But
it goes through. I don't know, because like it's optics. Is it? Is it stage lights? Does that allow it to go by? Because I know like Luxalt goes by wind wall and everything. But we've got another fight as Steel Tips getting some damage onto Cridians. Keyshawn trying to make it stick, but nothing really. Meanwhile, Dragon super low to the Kaisa poke.
yeah, I think it is looking like poke Kaisa. Well, it's on hit Kaisa, but the Rabadon's coming in. Rabadon's is like such a huge power spike on Kaisa. It feels so good to complete that item. Your W just instantly starts doing 50% more damage. It's so visible. It just makes you feel so much more confident too.
Well,
But yeah,
they
incredibly
are going to
powerful
be.
item.
Well, they're going to be more confident now with that Baron as well. But they need to get down for this Elder fight. They're TPing Dragon down as well. It will be Big Rat with first move. Let's see if Jason Smith can pull off any sort of miracle here.
Look at the Garen flank. Garen is in the mid lane lurking around, but the Corky poke is taking up so much space in the river.
Yep, Solar Flare comes out as here comes Starry on the flank. They dive right in. The Seraphine is gone. The core is gone. They just dive right on past the front line, eviscerate all they see, and it'll be just Keyshawn alone. And I don't think he's going to stop Big Rat from winning game one.
And Keyshawn trying to cut the wave here. Oh, almost killed Starry.
Is Ignite going to get it through the
Ignite
magic
did that?
shield? Doesn't look like it. Warmogs will get her back up in a jiffy, but the mid lane push is going to come in. And that will be 1-0 to Big Rat. Keyshawn not able to contribute in that fight.
Yeah, I was calling that Keyshawn had a flank, but Starry had an even better one. And they instantly locked down the core of the comp in Dragon.
Well,
She goes down immediately, not even able to build the Encore.
Starry able to end this game pretty much how it started with another solo kill onto Keyshawn. And in 31 minutes, Big Rat will take the lead 1-0.
8, 1, and 9. Starry with the profound performance in game one, even getting counterpicked, but still showing up.
Yeah, really big stuff there. We saw Keyshawn could maybe get some angles. He picked up some kills throughout the mid game, but when the flank comes in and your team is just forced to fight without you, it's not going to look pretty. Nice performance from Big Rat. We will take a short break as the teams size up for game number 2.
All right, what's up, everyone? We are back for game 2. Heading into this game, Big Rat had a dominating performance in game 1, and draft is looking a little bit different. This time we see Corky and Cassante taken out instantly.
Yeah, 2 picks that Big Rat were very successful on in that last game. However, PopTech keeping it in the wheelhouse of the AD mids, going with the Tristana. We'll see if Jason V want to keep the Seraphine strategy that they had last game. Didn't quite pay off the dividends that they perhaps expected, and they're flipping to something maybe completely different here. Yasuo Diana, some playmaking.
Yes, sir. Jason V throwing down some spice. They're ready to change up their game plan entirely. The Cyrac, I know, has played a little bit of Yasuo. At one of the very few AD champions he has in his mid pool. So I'm glad that they're willing to work with that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because like last game, it was Graves Rise. It was this more passive kind of farm up mid jungle duo. Now, they feel like the crux of the composition. They gotta go out there, make some plays, take off some heads. And I mean, if you can get Diana to cancel Tristana jump, it can be a rough time for Hop Tech. But maybe it's not going to be Hop Tech on the Tristana because they are back to the Galio.
So they do flex the Tristana here. Tristana Leona is a very powerful lane. That is also a very classic lane that has existed throughout time. Ever since Tristana got changed to the current iteration she is today, is a very powerful 2v2 lane. Let's see what they draft in response to this in the bot lane.
Well, that is technically a knockup. So it looks like it's going to be Nico. Could technically be Nico mid. We could see something like a Yasuo top. Could also be Nico support. Still some tricks up their sleeves as we move into the second round of bans. Olaf continue to be taken off the board. We'll see if Big Rat stick with some of the bans they had last time around. They started with the same three. No Camille, no Gwen, no Aatrox. Last time they did ban some 2 junglers. Probably not going to be the case this time.
Yeah, Olaf making perfect sense as a ban because he just eats all the knockups and runs straight through. Kennen, an interesting ban, another top pick taken away from Keyshawn.
Yeah, they're saying they already have too much AoE wombo combo potential. Don't want to see any more. Keyshawn has been solid on that pick thus far, and it might just be 5 top lane bans for Big Rat.
I'm surprised with the Lee Sin ban too. Uta drawing respect for the pick. They want to take him off him, but in reality, Uta just has so many picks. There's so many AP junglers that are available. Karthus is still available, and Big Rat has already ran Karthus Galio before in the tournament. Very powerful, and Uta is very comfortable for sure on these AP farming junglers. Set taken away from Keyshawn, another comfort pit of his.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of top laners that Keyshawn will not be able to pick from, but for now, probably will not be his pick. Will probably be the AD carry here for the side of JSN to the 5th. We'll see between Dragon and Steel Tips who's doing what probably with this pick.
Yeah, I believe this Nico is going to be going support. I don't know if Steel Tips or Dragon picks this, but the MF locked in.
Okay, they're cooking.
Yeah.
Everyone just wants to ult. They're cooking.
Yeah, JSN the 5th keeping it simple with the R comp.
Yeah, that's the Karthus we called out. They have played a ton of Galio Karthus throughout this tournament. We were surprised that they didn't pick it up in the last game with both champs available. So now, against the Yasuo Diana, they go back to that Galio Karthus combo.
Yeah, if I'm Panma, I'm very happy with this draft. This Tristana looks like it has so much space. Gangplank being looked at, but Garen is locked in.
All right, so Keyshawn not willing to throw out the Garen pick. A definite different look from both sides to start us off here in game 2. A lot of different stuff that they got to be able to do. We see this more, I guess it's an aggressive bot lane with the range support from the side of JSN to the 5th. But you called it out. Tristana Leona can be very aggressive themselves, can focus on the all-in and just try to blow someone up. And Nico can definitely be a target for that.
Yeah, I used to love this lane in solo queue. Whenever I see my support pick Leona, I would just hover Tristana and be like, yes, yes. But I'm interested to see how Misfortune Nico lands into this. Nico is honestly pretty oppressive against a lot of engaged supports. And with this is a double Comet lane, Tristana can be shut down pretty easily too. Especially if this is Doran's Ring MF. Just the E spam to neutralize the lane. Honestly, it could work. I could see it. And the Nico just working even better with Yasuo in team fights.
Yeah, could definitely be something that guides them to victory here as they try to even up the series. We will take a short break for the spectator delay before meeting you back for game number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game 2. Big Rat versus JSN the 5th. Everything on the line, and JSN the 5th come up with a spicy draft for this game.
Yeah, definitely going to be something interesting here. Transitioning to these playmaking mid-jungle combination with the Diana, with the Yasuo for Jason the other, and Cyrac. They are the two Jasons, right? They are the namesake of the team. They have transitioned everyone else into a Jason. So they've got to step up their play here in game number 2.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't even mention this in draft, but this Poppy is a brilliant pick into Yasuo Diana because that's exactly what they want to do. They want to jump on them and make plays.
Yeah, they can definitely go from stuffing the Diana to... And I don't believe she gets the E reset then because she doesn't finish the dash. So it's not great if that Poppy is just able to completely nullify the Diana engage. For now, gonna go for Deep Ward, but with Keyshawn around, maybe there's a bit of trouble, but not really.
Yeah, Poppy just swaggers away and gets the ward down on the Raptors. Emma Jr. already coming up winning this trade, and it looks like a tough position for him to come out of. The cleanse is burned already. Nico is here to stun them down. The cleanse burned off of steel tips already. Is a good sign for the lane for the side of Big Rat.
Yeah, we do see that Steel Tips and Dragon have switched back to Steel Tips being the farmer, Dragon being the supporter. But that is definitely not the way they wanted it to start, with the cleanse having to be expended early. They may not get too threatened by the Karthus early on, more of a power clear. So it should be A-okay. I would like to call out Yuta. He's not confident in himself. He bought a health pot on Karthus. Disgusting. He's not confident that he can get through this clear okay. I hate to see it.
Insecure, honestly. Already popped it too. Oh man, they're just trying to stay healthy for this first clear.
He doesn't know.
But yeah, looking at...
He doesn't know the hack where on Krugs you basically just like have the exact spot to stand. Big Krug can't hit you and you basically heal off the camp. So when you end, you're perfectly healthy. Now, can I do that? No, but I expect more out of him.
Yeah, we thought he was a Karthus player too. In the bot lane, we see that Steel Tips is actually playing Conqueror Misfortune.
Oh wait, we got early action.
Yeah, the early gank coming out. Jason the other just opting for the 3 camp, and the double flash on the start will secure the first blood for Keyshawn. A much better start for Keyshawn this game.
Yeah, this time the Poppy gonna be off to a rough start, but they do know Karthus going for the invade here. This is one of the disadvantages of doing some of these aggressive plays when you're against power clears. They do know Yasuo going back in Cridians. Gonna make sure that his Karthus is safe to just steal away the enemy blue. But he's losing a lot of HP for it. Now gonna be ignited and taken down.
Yeah, Cridian's really trying to just like secure the position for Uta. And for what cause? You know, Uta does secure one camp. Maybe Jason the other gets the smite steal, and the frost just forced, but Jason the other has the flash follow. Now T-Cyrac coming down, and the kill is all but secured. Uta dies in the river after getting the blue buff steal.
It's okay, these first 3 minutes got about as bad as they could for Big Rat. Karthus missing the Q as well on the Gromp. It wasn't able to secure it before Jason the other got the smite down. We are seeing Poppy get some decent trades in topside, but Keyshawn also has not recalled with that kill gold. Almost gets taken out by the buckler, but he'll be A-okay.
Yeah, once again, Keyshawn, just like last game, is just taking all these trades on the knife's edge. But this is about as good of a start as you can get.
Oh, the buckler!
Oh. So he gets the last hit with the buckler. The 1-for-1 in the top lane. Keyshawn doesn't have TP. So I guess it's kind of worth the wave we'll be pushing in, or maybe it's frozen. If we can pan over to the wave. Regardless, a 1-for-1 in the top lane. Still better than the first game, you know. At least it's better than a 0-for-1. But Starry trying to make do with whatever that she can get. That's a good wave spot.
Yeah, really good. Diana, though, will be on that side of the map. No. We will see Karthus probably path up there as well, though, so both junglers will be around if any contentions happen over that freeze. But yeah, so far, that is the one thing going positively for Big Rat. Do have Panma pushing in on bot side. But overall, I think Big Rat, or Jason the Fifth, pretty happy with how things have panned out.
Even mid is looking favoring for Jason the Fifth. The draft has looked so far like it's working, you know, they're playing to their strengths. The also Diana has not ticked 6 yet, but already they're starting to build advantages. And Jason the other has really had a good early game start. Keyshawn coming into proxy, not knowing that the Karthus is at the Grand Pier. We'll see if anything comes of this.
Yeah, I mean, he'll give
Now
over
spots
some
him out with
cues.
the ward.
He'll give
Yeah,
over some
Keyshawn pulling
cues, but
he's pulling a boss cosplay. Just running it down the tier 2 turret now, but saying worth as he catches the wave.
yeah, another wave for the Garen. Wall of Pain hits, so I don't believe that'll be an execute. Oh, no, it is. Wall of Pain doesn't do damage, right? So, worth, absolutely, for Keyshawn there. Garen will be able to just kind of get back to the wave in a decent state. We will also have Grubs spawning soon, but it looks like JSN the other are going to settle for Dragon on the bot side.
Yeah, taking the page out of the boss FFS's playbook. Honestly, not knowing that the Karthus is there, but still going for the proxy is the best you can expect out of that with the execute. Now, the neutral objectives will be traded across the map. Standard play. Red side this time instead electing for the dragon take instead of taking the grubs. Anma jumping on a steel tip season opening and gets the cannon jump off, and we'll get the reset and jumps back out. Overall, a losing trade.
Yeah, not great. We talked about this lane possibly being rough for Panma and Cridians. It may not be double Comet on the MF Nico, but they are getting some solid trades there. Maybe a bit of desync where Cridian's not really able to help out the Tristana there. As we pan back over to top wave, Keyshawn pretty comfortable with these Berserker Greaves. Garen definitely going to have a better time here than he did in game 1.
Both junglers just farming up here. Cyrag just playing on the edge of Hoptech's range, does take the punch in the face. Dragon just having this bush control. I really like the position that she's playing here. This is exactly what you should be doing as a ranged poke support. And we see the 4-man dive starting to look in the bot lane. Diana jumps on the Leona early, but the dive is spotted out. 4 people lined up here. There's no knock-up to play off of, so Cyrag cannot ult in. The flash is forced off of Cridian, so at least that's one thing. But the wave is crashed in, and no dive will be engaged.
Yeah, I mean, that dive can certainly be very risky. Galio was in the area to make a heroic entrance. The Requiem can suddenly come down if anyone's low in the aftermath. So they play it safe. They get the flash. We'll see if they revisit. For now, Karthus going to try to trade it back on the other side. Stealing away probably just some chickens. But Dragon is deploying out to that top side. So if Yuta gets too greedy, which it looks like he is, he's going to be met by 2 very angry JSN to the 5ths. And maybe
spotted each other yet. Now JSN the other should know something is going on. Ping's coming out on the red buff. Uta does have flash available. Daniel does come out, and this root is down. Uta will choose not to flash and just takes the death manly and goes down at the red buff. Another kill over to the side of JSN the other.
Well, he got too greedy. He was like, okay, I can punish this. I'm broken. I'm an insane clearer. He was not fast enough. Faded Ashes needs to be buffed, I say. As Steel Tips, gonna take a bit of damage down in bot, but nothing he's too upset with off the Nico roam. Actually, Requiem
jumped to the turret, trying to get him into Requiem range. Barely gets out with 1 health bar left, and the health bar will tick him up. But looking at this, it's gonna be Blade of the Rune King misfortune. I've never seen this build before. A great solar flare forces out the cleanse. And now the Make It Rain will come down from Steel Tips. The press R comp is pressing R. The chase down comes down. The root lands,
nice
but
buff.
a good buffer for Panama gets him out as the gank comes in. Just the other leaving as the gank is disengaged.
Yeah, Steel Tips. So there's maybe wanting to play some bait there, knowing I still had access to the cleanse, but JSN the other not quite there in time still. This kind of ultimate oriented composition has now gotten to the mid game with a decent lead for themselves, so not in too bad of a spot for JSN the 5th, despite the fact that we weren't too big fans of this draft. It is seemingly panning out for them. Yuta will not get an early what is it, Blackfire Torch or whatever Faded Ashes builds into. Did take a stop at the Swork Shoes, did have those before that first Requiem, still not enough onto Steel Tips.
Yeah, he was a little bit faster, but at least that burn doesn't hurt as much. And top lane is scrapping here once again. Keyshawn is just 20 CS up now, taking a solid advantage in the lane. This is what we expected to see from last game in the R5 counter pick in the top lane. But yeah, looking a little bit better in the top lane now.
Yeah, good stuff so far from Keyshawn. And they have lit up this bot, or this blue side, but actually we have a fight in bot.
Yeah, Steel Tips disrespecting the roam, and now an easy solar flare leads to a quick kill for Panma Jr. Tristana getting a kill is important for the snowball as she's the sole AD damage. Well, not sole, but 90% of the team's AD damage.
Optech gets...
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Cyrac taking a quick trade and does lose half his health bar, but because of the roam from Dragon up to the grubs, 3 more grubs will be secured for the side of Jason the 5th.
Yeah, you mentioned it definitely felt a bit... Actually, no, we have another play in mid.
Oh, the combos come out. The last breath comes out. Diana saves her ult, and Hoptech gets away with only about 40% HP loss. Not bad. Does force the flash out, though.
Oh.
Quick trade. Here we go. Keyshawn, as Starreach face checks in the bush. Keeper's Verdict flashed away from in the flash and exchange. We'll have to call the meanwhile. Dragon with the 3-man ult, but there's no follow-up. The hero's entrance blocks the rest of the team from coming up, and now that Diana Cole comes in, a good exhaust marks, and Panma gets away with 1 HP. Cyrac is trying to do what he can. A great wind wall stops the rest of the damage from Uta coming up, but takes 1 more lane waste, and he gets away as well. Now Steel Tips is on the chase. Everyone is 1 HP. The smite finishes Hoptech at the very end.
Do we have a Requiem? Does he not have mana? It looks like it just came up. And he's not able to put it down. Yasuo will get home safe. And that is pretty good for the side of Jason the 5th. It looked maybe a bit sketchy to start when Dragon didn't have the follow-up. But with Diana coming in, they didn't need the last breath. They didn't need the Wombo. They just needed Steel Tips, who did a lot of work in that fight.
Yeah, these are the kind of fights you need to take as Jason the 5th. You know, you got the skirmishing abilities. You got all the press R, so you just got to hit everything on the opponents. And really just trust your team to follow up. That was intense.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe, given the fact that they didn't have Yasuo, that wasn't going to go too well. We are now into a pause, as I believe Dragon DC'd. We will patiently await the return there. We can, you know, go back, maybe investigate this fight a bit further.
Yeah, we got replay for a budget now. Or we got budget for a replay now.
I would classify it more as we have time.
Yeah, those HP bars were so low. In the end, it was a 1 for 2, but that could have easily been 3 on either side dropping. A great 3-man ult right off the bat, but there was no follow-up. You know, Cyrac didn't have ult there. And then I watched Jason the other. Cridians is watching him the whole time, so a great exhaust as soon as it comes out. But this MFR just zones everyone off, so they're not able to finish the kill on Jason the other. Another press R, a great tornado onto 2. And he narrowly dodges out on this lay waste here. Oh, it just straight missed, honestly.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that narrow.
Yeah, but he gets away with 1 HP too. I don't even know if he would have died from Blackfire Torch if he had it. And then the smite at the end. Hoptech might have even got away too if the strut didn't come out from MF. But yeah, it was so close.
Yeah, so far, things definitely looking better for the side of Jason to the 5th. Not only on this bot side, but of course, the top laners. Even though they weren't able to join that fight, we saw Keyshawn continue to stay aggressive, continue to stay a few waves ahead there in the top lane. All this to say that it is 2 dragons now to the side of Jason the 5th, that they start to stack that up on the Mountain Rift. Cridians just finds a bit of a trade.
Yeah, the gold lead has stayed at around 1.3, 1.5k for like the past 5 minutes. But the second dragon picked up is definitely a good point for Jason the 5th. Now they have 2, as well as 3 grubs, so they've won out on the neutral objective trades. And as soon as this Diana Yasuo finishes their first items, they will be very, very strong. 302 for Jason the other, and a very farmed Yasuo as well. Huge power points for them.
Yeah, it truly might just be as simple as press R for them. Hoptech here in the mid lane. Actually, nope, nope, nothing really doing trying to lay waste to that crab.
John Robinson
Oh my
still
God.
coming in, wants that crab for himself, and we'll take it right in the face of Uta.
Yeah. Still, Karthus hasn't quite gotten rolling to the extent that maybe he would have liked. Pretty though.
Well, Prettians does hit the engage, but Bear lands the solar flare, but a great E from Nico stops Panma from jumping in. That's a really good understanding of the interactions of the fights between them. Landing the CC on the 80 carry means that it isolates the support in front of you, and you just get to chuck skill shots into her while you kite back.
Yeah, Panma not able to rocket jump once the barbs are on him. And everything going to chalk right now for Jason to the 5th. Diana now finishing up that Lich Bane is going to be a pretty big menace in any skirmishes that Jason 5th want to take. Optech has built that Hollow Radiance first. He did this in every Gallo game he's played thus far, but I believe in most of those he was at least against an AP mid laner. So not really putting in too many stats for the 1v1. More so just hoping that he can deal with the, I guess, Diana.
Yeah, I've been seeing this Galio build a lot, and it does look very strong. Unfortunately, not against an AD champion. The ward does spot out Jason the Other, sneaking into the bush here. So that gank attempt will be thwarted. But Lich Bane completed for Karthus. The Blade of the Rune King... Oh, it's not Blade of the Rune King, it's Bloodthirster, sorry. The BF is picked up for MF. I was a little bit confused. I was like, what is she building now?
Is it? Oh, actually.
Oh, a good root engages a triple solar flare, stops the engage, and Credians does get the flash out. Make it rain also chunks Uta down. And just like that, the two ultimates zone out all three of their people in the bot lane. Look at those HP bars. Only at like 25% now on all three of them.
Oh, and Jason wants... Or that's not Jason, that's Dragon. I even get fooled. But now Dragon. It still has Pop Blossom.
He wants it. Hero's entrance comes out to stop the engage, and she might have reached a little bit too far. Barrier prevents Panma from dying too. An overstep from Dragon.
Yeah. Eyes get too big. Went for too much of a hero play. Like, they're so low. Surely this has to be good. Doesn't end up that way. Gives over a freebie to the side of Big Rat.
Someone is dying here. Keyshawn has blood in his eyes, and he is just playing with this poppy range. Goes in now and drops down the sword for a quick solo kill onto Starry.
Yeah, even with the Karthus Requiem, it's not even close. There in the top side, Starry not able to get enough damage through before that Requiem. I don't know if Dark Harvest even proc there. Karthus definitely not doing what he likes this game, as Credians trying to go in onto Cyric, but he's got help.
Credians just tanking up everyone, presses W, walks away. Average day in the life of Leona. Meanwhile, Keyshawn Robinson picks up first turret for himself. Looks like in a much better position. A 35 CS and solo turret gold lead. Much better spot for him this game.
Yeah, and now if we're on the side of Big Rat, you can still maybe believe in the Church of Panma here for these team fights, because the Tristana can still play a bit more aggressive and has Buster Shot to disengage a lot of these divers to keep her safe against what is going to be a very menacing Garen in the later stages. But I think Steel Tips has shown that the MF can have a lot of value thus far. These bullet times are doing a lot of work. As Credian's going to show up to mid lane, but I don't think he's going to get much. But yeah, these bullet times have done a ton of work. It would be better if they could get control of the river first to then use it in one of these chokes, but looks like with Keyshawn here, that is exactly what they're going to get. Yeah, we do see Jason the Other trying to maybe look for a play in bot.
Oh, 1v1 comes out in the bot lane. Buster Shot comes out to try and get himself some space. A good buffer from Jason the Other, and a flash follow is a quick solo kill. Now that there are 5 people on the bot side for Jason the 5th, Dragon is looking a lot harder for Big Rat to contest. Jason the Other will start up the Dragon with Misfortune right behind him. Steel Tips will be taken up and will be healing off the Dragon now. That Misfortune Bloodthirster doing a lot of work.
Yeah, it is just going to be a Dragon convert, but meanwhile, mid.
Keyshawn Robinson getting engaged on, but he's happily soaking the engage. Pop Blossom barely misses 2, but still gets the critical lock on Critians, and he goes down. Now Cyrac getting locked into turret, does take 2 turret shots, but gets out. Starry trying to throw down whatever he can on Jason the other, and chasing down, but in the end, it does not seem like it will come to anything. A quick kill on a Critian. The fight is turning back around, but I don't think anything more will come of it. And that should be another kill over to Jason the 5th and Dragon.
An elongated bit of scrap in there, as I mean, Jason the 5th showing that they are more than willing to throw down whenever they get the opportunity. Bit of a mistake from Panma, getting caught on the bot side, not playing with the team, with the bodyguards for that all-important 3rd Dragon fight. And with all that momentum, it's going to be an easy Herald pickup for the side of Jason the 5th.
3 Dragons, Herald, even 3 Grubs. The neutral objective control is so smothering on the side of Jason the 5th. They have control over every single fight. They've been picking up people off and engaging very well. This comp is working wonders, honestly. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, definitely a good rebound from Cyrac and Jason the other, who had very rough times out there in game 1. Able to come back here. 4-0-2, a big catalyst for everything they've done here on this Diana for Jason the other. And Cyrac, he's just been chilling. Hasn't given over too many angles, but he might give over one here.
And the Shield of Duran does lock down Cyrac, and he goes on to the Karthus here, needs to land the last breath, but the knockup will secure the last lay waste. And he goes down in the mid lane. In the bot, Panma Jr. barely gets out of that route, and now Dragon is way too far out and is gonna be locked down. Misses the flash, and the Requiem does not even secure the kill. Will go down to Hoptech.
Yuta had too much faith that that flash would go over the wall. He had too much trust, but I mean, Big Rat punishing some overextensions, but Keyshawn wants something back.
Keyshawn popping the ghost and will flash in and drops down the Demacian Justice. The late wastes are still laying down waste on him. It will go down. Bot turret is taken down, and Steel Tips will chase down Critians. Critians does have flash up, but will he use it? Flashes over the wall. No flashes to follow. Steel Tips dropping the bullet time, and Jason the other will secure the kill at the very end.
We will see. Oh no, we're back to trading. Okay.
Consolidation prize. Jason the Panma Jr. will jump over. Does not want the fight anymore. Jason the other chasing, but with no flash, is out of range already.
All right, so even more scrapping here from both sides, but with Herald summoned up in bot, we're going to see Jason just roll on through, get another neutral objective in their favor. Starry, solo time on top, should be able to return it, however. Let's talk about how Cyrac was playing solidly, and then he immediately gets picked in mid. Seems about right. But Panma, so far, is trying to farm up here on this Tristana. You can definitely buy yourself a lot of space in these fights, but we haven't seen these kind of straight 5-on-5s where maybe the Gallo can have a bit more say in maybe stuffing these divers with the taunt, and the Tristana can stuff them with the Buster Shot. And we're just going to keep on going to mid because that's the only place we want to fight.
Ooh, Hoptech does get his dash canceled, but has flash available, so we'll be fine. Critians, on the other hand, does not have flash available, but instead just presses W, walks through 4 people. Average day in the life of Leona. But Hoptech has to back now after getting half his HP chunked out.
Yeah, we will see Panma finally move over to the mid lane to match with Steel Tips and Dragon. Yeah, still a very even game thus far. It has been a lot of neutral objectives going the way of Jason the 5th, but the gold itself not too in their favor. We do see Diana locking up that Zhonya's allowing her to get more playmaking on that ultimate where she doesn't get traded back. It's not like she gets CC'd up by Critians and dies, but instead Critian's going to CC up the Nico.
Solar Flare does find Dragon in the side, and there's good follow-up. A good route from Nico stops the catch-up from the 2, but the CC from Leona is more than enough to keep her in place. Requiem comes down.
Baron.
The Justice Punch will finish the kill again, secured by Hoptech. Keyshawn Robinson will take a consolidation kill in the bot lane, and Baron is started up while Dragon is being taken down. They might be able to burn this down.
Yeah, it's already down below half, and Karth Assault's already been expended. They can't really threaten them off this. Cyrac is here. They even invest the bullet time and get the Baron take. They will gladly take the trade as Keyshawn wants even more in bot lane.
Yeah, Keyshawn is just working working wonders in the side lane, forcing people to match him and then taking them down like Bush Garrett. Honestly, Jason the Fifth has a chance to take this dragon too. But Keyshawn, he's by himself here. Now Keyshawn gets jumped down with the Tristana and will get the kill confirmed. Another kill in the pocket of Panma Jr. The fight is a lot harder to take now that Keyshawn is down.
Yeah, he got a bit greedy there. And now this Mountain Dragon, maybe they can stall for the Karthus. As actually Cyrac.
Cyrac has the flashback, respects the Leona, three-man Diana ult into the last whisper. The combo that exactly they were looking for pops Panma Jr. immediately. Critians in the midst of 4 will go down too. Jason the Fifth hit the combo.
Exactly what you want to see. They didn't need the bullet time. They didn't need the pop blossom. They didn't need that window dressing. They just needed the bread and butter. Oh,
Durant lands onto 3 now, and then another kill picked up from Hoptech. Dragon will go down as well. This was massive disrespect on the side of Jason the Fifth as Diana is doing Dragon.
Oh no.
Now Starry will face take the Dragon too. Hero's entrance comes out and lands on Steel Tips. Steel Tips has the flash, has the cleanse available too, but elects not to use it and will instead take the jump in the face, and now the Dragon will go over. Or it will not, it will reset.
Keyshawn's down here. They are scared of this Garen. They do not have enough in the tank for their front line to get Sightless into this pit. So after all of that, after all the back and forth, it may still be Mountain Soul, but they're teleporting in.
Yeah, the fight is not over yet. Uta just walks into the Dragon. The smite goes over to Big Rat. They stop the Dragon Soul, and 2 go down in the pit. That is all the Barons gone. That is huge shutdowns. 800 gold onto this Galio now. Hoptech is running the server.
We were talking about how this could have been the Panma game with all these tanks, with all this stuff that he can do on Tristana. The tank Galio is doing wonders for the side of Big Rat, bringing that fight back in the extended play where Jason was focusing down the dragon. His team gets a bit too eager in the mid lane. Hoptech punishes them alongside Starry. Then they're just able to walk in, clutch hands from Yuta here to be able to get the smite down and make sure that no Mountain Soul goes the way of Jason to the Fifth.
Yeah, this game was looking in Jason the Fifth's control after that kill in the bot lane and the Baron. But after a quick series of throws, or whatever that was, the game is now back to dead even. I don't think any Barons remain even, so like that is completely canceled out. So yeah, the game's just even now.
Yeah, definitely an interesting call where they were able to sneak that Baron and then just not quite able to leverage it how they would have liked. Not really able to siege onto anything beyond that bot lane inner. And we talked about Jason the Other and Cyrac being able to step up in this game, but actually Tridians continue.
Solar Flare coming out onto Dragon, even though none of Tridian's teammates were near her. She still went for it, and now Starry into the middle of 4 people is just saying hello, knocks them in the face a little bit, and then walks away. Jason the Other hitting Poppy a bit on the side. The Zenith Blade does miss, so Jason the Other does escape for now. But Starry trades half her health just to show some pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to shout out Cridians. He's been very aggressive looking for these plays. Any opportunity he gets, he's laying down the Solar Flare, trying to get his team something back in this game with the picks. Been having a very solid game on Leona, despite, you know, not a too impressive scoreline there in the bot lane, but doing good stuff for his team. And I think the very critical thing for the Wombo combo is the Diana damage, and she can get completely stuffed by an exhaust if Cridians is quick on the trigger. Doesn't have it right now, but will be very important for the upcoming fights.
Yeah, we're quickly coming up to the breakpoints where the combo damage won't be enough to stop this Poppy Galio Leona. Like, they'll be able to just tank it and then proceed with the fight, and all the damage is gone after the combo burst. So their breakpoint is coming up fast, and Jason the Fifth is under pressure now.
Yeah, I would also like to see lockets coming down from someone on the side of Big Rat. It can honestly be anyone except Karthus and Tristana, because against those Wombo compositions, having that AoE shield is so valuable. And we are seeing Thornmail on Leona. I get it. There's like 4 auto attackers, 4 auto attackers, 3 AD champs on the side of Jason the Fifth, but I definitely would like to see Locket, because if you die, you die. but you need to make sure your team stays afloat here in these fights. Zonya's from Galio helping him against the combo, but Cridian's still looking for plays.
Yeah, Cridian's just throwing Zenith Blade out on anyone he sees. Now the Solar Flare misses, but the Flash follow will be enough. The hero's entrance will lock down Jason the Other. A good Zanya to stop the Requiem, but he has Flash. Will not be able to use it. Cridian still diving into the middle of 3. Will get traded in the end. He just keeps wanting more and more, but Starry charges into 4 now. Will be able to get away. Doesn't even... The Steadfast Presence comes out now. Keeper's Verdict knocks up 2. A huge cooldown traded, but Panma Jr. now getting a quick trade on the Steel Tip. Steel Tip not respecting it, and now everything is coming down. The Pop Blossom onto 3 will take down Uta, but is it enough? It doesn't look like it is. Panma Jr. walks out and finishes the kill on Dragon.
We will go right into a pause after all those shenanigans. Mid ganked by a Spider IRL. Damn. That is absurd. Elise, not very strong in the meta, but can make an appearance at any time. But we are quickly back into the game. But yeah, super
repel, you know, you never know.
It's come out of nowhere. But yeah, super big fight for Big Rat. And I mean, the early game was so ideal for the side of Jason to the 5th, but a lot of these fights have been swinging in the favor of Big Rat. They get that initial pick on Jason Other. He wasn't able to get out with his flash. I hate Spectator, but he wasn't able to get out with his flash. Sure, we can even watch it back. Why not?
Yeah, like Jason the Other is just really like walking up, just being too over aggressive, I think, or was really trying to look for an angle.
Yeah, just dies immediately. No chance for any of the other R button pressers to get involved. And then in the extended play, it just seemed very odd for Steel Tip to try to throw this out when there's no slows or anything onto Panma to make him stand in it. Just walks casually to the side and is able to get it done there.
Yeah, they disrespect him Panma Jr. at Church of Panma. The quick solo kill of the MF opens up that fight entirely. Starry is looking almost unkillable now. Knight's Vow completed.
Yeah, I definitely like the Knight's Vow. I was advocating for the different support item in the locket, but Knight's Vow certainly making sense as well. Make sure Panma can survive the onslaught. Make sure that he gets through the Wombo combo, because after that, the upfront DPS of MF is not going to match up with the Tristana.
Yeah, I like the MF build, but it is also MF. You know, this champion is very limited right now in her capacities. But the Soul Point Dragon spawning once again. And Big Rat is already in the river here, and a quick CC chain on the Jason the Other forces the flash out, and it will be extremely hard to contest here. Teleport channeled from Hoptech to get into river as well. Big Rat have full control of this dragon.
Yeah, it's looking very good for them. Jason the 5th just saying, you know what, we'll take the mid lane outer as a bit of consolation. We'll get our vision over Baron. You guys can go ahead and take that one. We're not too worried about the second Mountain Dragon. And the big thing I'm looking for, actually, nope, we got to fight.
Jason the Other choosing to go in on the Cridians here. An interesting choice. It will get slammed into the wall and taken down, and now Big Rat have position on the Baron as well. Jason the 5th are all out of sorts and are running for their lives.
Yeah, they're just so desynced. They're fishing for plays when Cyrac is a lone bot, doesn't see anyone, and now Cridians wants to maybe lock down another.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage coming out from Keyshawn Robinson. The dragon gets taken down over the wall.
Oh,
Demasian Justice just completely ignores exhaust because it's true damage. And he runs away. Ghost is channeled, so he will be fine. But Cridians will also start regenerating HP. So in the end, nothing will really come of it. Baron being started by Big Rat, and it looks like there will be no contest.
Oh, we got a teleport.
Teleport is coming out.
Cyrac wanting to make this a bit of a duel, but he's just caught. He's dead.
He's just not slammed into the wall. Solar Flare to Cyrac is gone as well. Jason the 5th, they're just kind of throwing everything at the wall and hoping something sticks.
Yeah, they definitely feel a bit desynced right now. No one really there to cover Cyrac. Keyshawn on the other side of the fight. Steel Tip's not willing to step up. And all of a sudden, it is going to be Baron in the hands of Big Rat. And, I mean, I think things will only get scarier from here for the side of Jason the 5th. Locking in those LDRs for both Yasuo and MF That is huge. That is certainly going to go a long way. But Utah is about to put on a really nice hat that is going to make those Requiems make it so that those good Karthus deaths were just in the middle of 5 people. So scary.
Yeah. And now, just like in draft, we said this is Tristana field day. We have Galio, Leona, Poppy, just creating space for you, tanking up the entire engage. And as long as you stand a screen away from wherever Yasuo and Diana are, they cannot touch you. And this Tristana will just shred through everyone. GA now even finished for him. So it is even harder to kill the carry off.
Yeah, we're going to see if they can separate out parts of the Wombo combo, layer it effectively to kill him twice, but Jason might be caught again.
Coming out of the wall. Jason the other stuck again, and now T-Cyrac is also caught out on the bot side here. A good ult. The last breath will not save him. Jason the other also chunked down from the Requiem, but Critians is taken down somewhere in the midst of this. So a 1-for-1, not the worst. Tier 2 goes down, but Garen is knocking on the Indiv in the top lane.
Yeah, he will be scared off it. Doesn't want to overextend, give over anything there. Critians going a bit too far, but with the Baron, with the Tristana, these towers are just paper.
Yeah, and 3 cannons too, but they choose to not stay. We'll stay disciplined and back off after they see the Garen has recalled.
Yeah, feel like maybe they could have pushed for more. A lot of the R buttons were down on the side of Jason the Fifth. And it feels like he would be kind of unopposed, hitting away on down inhibitor, but they go for the safe call. They go for the farm. Yeah, now as we get into this kind of later stages of the game, the Tristana is going to be so scary. The Karthus is going to be so scary. And we're going to have to see if Steel Tips on it, this MF can be that bigger source of DPS. It's not common for MF to really be the consistent damage dealer throughout a fight because of the passive, making so that you do more upfront rather than in extended trades. But it's going to have to be what guides them here because JCL just keeps getting caught. They can never get the Wombo off if the moon falls before everyone else is ready.
Yeah, exactly. They haven't done the combo since like 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but now Pop Blossom comes out just to try and save Jason Miller, but he's locked down under turret entirely. Optech, meanwhile, is solo killed, chunked, or shot down straight from 1.3k HP or something. Garen does massive damage, but a huge kill over to the side of Keyshawn, 1k gold in his pocket.
I'm checking, can we get an audit on Jason the Other's PayPal? He has been caught so often in these scraps. Like, the combo just can't go off like you were saying. Keyshawn doing his best, doing exactly what he did last game. Hey, game may not be going too well. I'm sticking in the sides. I'm getting these solo kills. And, you know, eventually I'll show up to the fight and I'll spin to win down on Panma. Maybe that's what they got to look for against this GA. You kill him once with the Garen, you kill him once with the Wombo. That's probably going to be the key to victory as another dragon up in 14.
Yeah, Keyshawn is full build now. Last item was the Hole Breaker, and now he's coming straight to the fight. He does want a 5v5 now that he is full build. But in that time, Poppy picked up Randuin's as well, so it's even harder for Poppy to kill her now. And Starry's just charging at everyone that she sees. Barely misses the slam for T-Cyrac into the wall. Regardless, Big Rat does have control over the river. Jason the Other dashes on to the Poppy in hopes of looking for it, but again, the Solar Flare locks her down. Zanya's is initiated early, and the Moonfall on the 3, but there's no last breath to follow. Bullet time comes out, but Keeper's Verdict just knocks her away, and now Pop Blossom is used as well. Keyshawn in the middle of everyone will take down 2 people all by himself, but that's not enough. T-Cyrac and Steel Tips, the only ones remaining, and now the front line of Big Rat is chasing them down 2v3. It does not look like Jason the Fifth can contest anymore.
Oh, it looks so good with that Moonfall coming in, but just not fast enough on the last breath. The bullet time would have been there. The Pop Blossom would have been there. It would have been phenomenal Wombo combo. And I mean, Jason the Other plays it right. The exhaust gets timed out while he's in Zonia's. He's able to get it off, but Cyrac needs to be able to get those if his team is to stand a chance. They have now given up 3 dragons in a row here. The 3k gold lead not meaning too much, but the fact that Big Rat have seemingly come on top of every 5-on-5 we've had is pretty detrimental to Jason's cause. Yeah, we do see Locket on Leona, so good to know that she was able to pivot away from that. Didn't end up finishing the Thornmail, kept it on Bramble. So they do have another resource against the Wombo to try to keep Panma safe. It's going to be stacking up for that LDR as well. The full item Trist is on its way, and he's a full item up on the MF. So Panma Jr., we've been talking about him a lot this game. He's been kind of the unsung hero for the side of Big Rat throughout this tournament, where, yeah, it's Hop Tech and Yuta making a bunch of plays with Yasuo's, and Starry's getting solo kills, but Panma just knows what he has to do. And right now, Starry knows that she does not want to tango with the Garen.
Yeah, Keyshawn, once again, trying to pin someone down to the solo lane here, as Baron is the objective on the map. But yeah, I agree. Panma has been silently just dealing damage and doing his job for the side of Big Rat, and has really been doing it well. That is a huge chunk. Keyshawn does an insane amount of damage. It's just a matter of will he be able to land it.
Yeah, if he can walk up menacingly to you, he's going to walk up menacingly to the tower. Poppy.
Poppy. Yeah, such an incredible side lane threat here. Like I said, like he just give him a turret and he will take give him one wave, give him control, and he'll take everything down. Flash is committed from Hop Tech to confirm the kill, and Requiem comes out. This kill will go over for sure, but Cyrac takes over the top inhib as well here. Even Baron is being pulled. The pull time comes out, and Baron is also secured by Jason the Fifth. They get everything on the map. Sure, they die, but that is a huge neutralizer. Oh, the hero's entrance does land.
Oh, he's able to stop the blast code.
The charge. The steadfast presence stops the blast code, and she will go down. There's a mid wave. The game is endable here.
There's 4 dead. They committed so hard to getting those 2 inhibitors. They wanted their cake and wanted to eat it too. We take 2 inhibs. We take the Baron. But you lose 4. You lose 4. There's 40-second death timers. And that may be Big Rat going to match point.
Yes, if Steel Tips lived, it was much more doable. But Steel Tips decided to stay on the last pixel of the hero's entrance and got knocked up. If they just left a little bit sooner, they would have been fine. And the game would have been in such a good state again. But everything comes up tails. Just kidding, it comes back up. Sean Robinson has a chance to save the game here in the middle of 4 people. But Tristana will just stay hitting the Nexus. And in the end, Big Rat take game 2. What a tight game. But Big Rat come up big.
Well, that was a fun one. That was certainly a fun one there between Big Rat and Jason to the Fifth. It looked like Jason the Fifth had the advantages early. Looked like they were going to pull it out with this wacky, kind of more explosive composition. But Big Rat, they hold firm. They trust in the 5v5 that they built. That is more traditional, more frontline, more backline. And we're just going to roll through you in a front-to-back team fight. Exactly kind of what they were able to get. And with Karthus dropping Requiem's top of the damage charts, it was not a great time for Jason the Fifth as it moved on. And now they need to get everything together to make a reverse sweep happen.
Yeah, it is game point for Jason the Fifth. This was a wild draft, and they almost made it work. I will give it to them. Draft is a lot more difficult for Big Rat, but they have a lot of confidence going into this game 3.
Yeah, Big Rat now stand 1 game away from being crowned DMV Rivals champions. We will take a break and see if they can lock it up quick in game number 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to what could possibly be the final game of DMV Rivals Summer 2024. Don't cry because it could be over. Cry because Jason the Fifth looks completely discombobulated. They're down 0-2. Gonna look for a bit of recovery here in game 3.
Yeah, when I said they needed a change up draft, I didn't expect them to change it up that much. They completely flipped up the game plan from game 1 heading into game 2. And while it did work better, for the most part, I think it was mainly because Uta just decided to run in and give them like free 3 kills early game and flip the game completely on its head. And they really dug themselves out of a hole there. But still, like, I think that game should not have gone that way from the beginning.
Yeah, we are back into draft here. To start us off, it is going to be Jason the Fifth taking red side for the 3rd time in a row. I don't really see any reason for Big Rat to go away from the strategy they've had of banning out a bunch of top laners. We'll see if anything changes in the ban categories for Jason to the Fifth.
Yeah, what I really want to see, Jason the Fifth do is adapt their top side bans. I want to see them try and do something with the R3 pick rather than saving top for R5. Maybe banning or picking their R3 instead of getting pinched all the way to Garen, and then banning counters to that pick. Or I want to see them drafting like a more reliable bot side lane, something like a more traditional front to back AD carry, and then like an engaged support. Or they could run the Seraphine back and not just like completely flip the game on its head early and run it down. But we'll see what really comes out here. Cassante and Corki being banned right off the bat. Still scared from game 1.
Yeah, for now they are keeping it very similar to their game 2 draft. We'll see if they end it off the same with Renekton, but no, it'll be Leona this time denied from Cridians.
Wow. So I wanted to talk about this a little bit. The Leona in B2 has been really huge for Big Rat because they know that nothing that the enemy plays really can deal with it. They had the Nautilus game 1, and then Leona was a counter to it even. And then in game 2, sure, the Nico did take a little bit of space in lane, but Cridians was just so good at finding space and being aggressive and just picking correct and good engages that it really completely nullified the Nico pick.
Yeah, for now we will see AD carries traded out, and we'll see if that bot lane goes any differently now with Leona gone, but it is going to be Ashe Seraphine down on bot side. Technically could be either one in support, either one in farming, but more than likely we're looking at steel tips on the Ashe and Dragon on the Seraphine. An immediate Galio response means Panama is going to be piloting the Tristana once again.
Yeah, this is... so I do like this a little bit better. The front to back AD carry, if this is the Ashe or the Seraphine running it back, is good. I did want that adaptation. The Galio getting through is not too bad. Galio wasn't like too huge of an issue, but it was a very strong pick. And there we go. Karthus Galio locked in as a combo once again.
Yeah, they're back to their bread and butter. Don't believe they dropped a game. They played this like 3 to 4 times in group stage alone. I believe they won every time. I don't think they dropped a game on it in bracket either. So they're looking to close it out on some very familiar champions here. And we'll see if there's a mid lane response from Cyrac into the Galio, and it's going to be an Ahri pick. Bit of playmaking in the mid lane.
I like the adaptation. They can't go full AD into the Yasuo, and the game 1 pick Rise was not working out too well either. So a little bit something in the middle, freeing up your jungler a little bit more in draft. And I assume we're gonna save top for R5 here. Ahri is a versatile pick. And yeah, the J5 comp has a lot of things they can do. Now they just really need to lock down on something they want to do well.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of potential here with these champs. It does feel a bit lower in the damage department. Ahri provides a lot of utility. Ashe provides a lot of utility. No true upfront hypercarry. Ashe can do a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but we'll see if it's still going to be Keyshawn on a carry. Skarner continuing to get through every draft thus far shows that I think they are more than willing to always put Keyshawn on a carry. but that will be a carry gone in the jungle as Viego is banned away. We'll see what Jason the Other wants to play here.
Shinzao being left open now instead of the Viego on the last pick. Jason the Other, Kishan having the picks open. I think I would still pick top R5 because Starry would be able to exploit that counter matchup if they pick the Skarner well. And yeah, Shinzao slipping through and picked away now by Jason the Other.
Yeah. So along with those pinches in the jungle, we do see the support role getting pinched out a bit. Cridian's going to be very limited on his engage options. Really only one left up. Feels like the Rakan could be an option here, but also could go with the more defensive tank options that are still available. That's exactly what he's going to do on the Braum.
I don't like that pick. They're playing very anti-dive into a team that has a lot of range and mobility. The blind Olaf, Starry is throwing down a little bit of a gauntlet. I guess that does pair well with Braun a little bit. But they're playing very anti-dive. Galio and Braum really want to absorb damage and they really want the enemy to come to them. But Ari, Seraphine, and Ashe have a lot of movement, a lot of slows, a lot of zone control. They don't really necessarily need to come into them at all. And this is like something I don't like the Braum pick for. So I guess we'll see. Set locked in as the last pick now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you that a lot of the Rats champions are more on the defensive side, but Ashe especially can just kind of play from range, take it slow in front to back. Olaf won't really have any steroids, won't have a Zillion, won't have an Ivern, no nonsense like that. So he is going to be mostly just on his own in the health and shield department. So it could be pretty easy for Ashe to get through. Yeah, she can't slow him, but damage is the best CC if they can get it on the Olaf.
Yeah. I will say this is the draft I felt most confident on for J5. This looks like it can do the most things well. And it looks like it plays to their strengths and it plays well in the meta. The first game, it felt like they had a lot of comfort. It felt like they could just scale, but it didn't really have a good damage profile. Game 2 was MF Nico. But this game, it feels like they have a very well-rounded team comp, strong game plan, have a lot of options. So yeah, I feel the most confident on this draft. But I'm gonna bet on Big Rat because I want a game 4. Wait.
I'm gonna need you to swap that around.
Oh yeah. No, I'm actually doubting. So so they'll get energy.
Yeah, they'll siphon the energy. Yeah. It will be interesting to see how they pilot this. This is like the third different comp that Jason the Fifth has been willing to throw. We'll see if it works in game 3 once we get back from spectator delay. And we are live for game number 3 here between Big Rat and Jason the Fifth. Jason the Fifth hoping that this is not the end of DMV rivals for them or for everyone. Meanwhile, Big Rat hoping to bring it home in a short order 3-0 sweep as we get onto the map.
Yeah, game 3, everything on the line. J5 got to put out all their cards now, and they got to show up.
Yeah, and it's definitely another different look for them in this draft. They're going back to the Seraphine that they had game 1, but she's not farming this time. They have that traditional AD carry in the Ashe that can shred through some frontline, try to play a more traditional fight. And with the Ari Shinzao, they have avenues to make some plays as well.
Oh, still tips about a face check.
Yep, Pama going to just trade in, get him to half HP. A little bit more. Steel tips will have to take a recall. Probably won't mean too much in the grand scheme of things. We do see Raptor wards placed down by both teams as well.
Oh, just choosing to stay in lane here. Honestly, not bad. They should have early push, so that should cancel out some of the damage that's been taken, and he will be able to sustain, and the Seraphine will be able to take some range just like that. And if I was Dragon, I would really want control of this bush. Having this invisible pressure and just being able to come up and like throw auto attacks just like that is very important in a range melee matchup for support. Yeah, just like that. So they have a huge range advantage, and they're trying to abuse that early game.
Yeah, the double range can definitely get some good work in. Braum not really able to threaten too much at level 1, level 2, level 3, really in these lanes, as he's just going to be continuously receiving poke, level 2 hit, and Ash Surfing. Going to have a fun time down here for the most part. Xin Zhao also pathing down to them. Both teams will now get information on how the junglers are going, as both now get over to the Raptors.
I'm really interested to see how this top lane goes. The W is dropped, so this is an open invitation for Olaf to just run in. So that's really how the trades for this lane will go.
We do see that.
It doesn't matter how they play.
Yeah, we do see that even on this more aggressive Olaf pick that could definitely afford to take 2 combat summers with Flash Ghost, Starry still opting to make sure she has the teleport, make sure that the team play doesn't suffer on these kinds of picks. Meanwhile, Keyshawn still all in. Goes for the Ignite 3rd game in a row.
It might be a dive coming out.
Yep.
Is the other pathing straight in, 3 camping for this.
Oh, yeah, the wave set up. Starry is just easy money, first blood for the boss.
Yeah. Very well played. A 3 camp again. And now we see that the Jason the 5th bot side will be reacting to the invade by Karthus right now, but it is a 3v4 on the bot side. Oh,
he gets hit by the charm, but now Yuta able to flash away. Steel Tips now might be caught. Critians has to put up the door. And actually, he may be the one on the wrong side of things. Panma didn't roam up here for this. Optic trying to play defense, but it's Steel Tips with the kill.
Yeah, this is the weakness of Braum. Having to deal with 3 range champs that have slows, that have roots, is so hard for you. As Braum, you really want champs that just all in on you because you can stun them and absorb their damage, their upfront damage. So this shows the weakness of Braum in this draft.
Yeah, not off to a great start here for Cridians. Not off to a great start for Starry either. Was forced back early. Now Jason the Other going to be able to contest on this Crab. Final lay waste. Not quite enough. I do think maybe Yuta's trying to do too much on this Karthus, right? If the enemy just kind of 3 camps into you, yeah, you could go for that invade to take it away. But a lot of times, if you just power clear, you get your respawns up. But actually, Panma goes in with the jump, and Dragon is suddenly down. Somehow, they get the all-in with the Braum.
Yeah, there's the blind face checking into the bush, not knowing that the Braum has recalled. But yeah, I agree a lot. Karthus does not necessarily need to counter jungle to like get ahead, right? You can just speed clear your own camps and then show up on objectives or lanes faster than the jungler.
Yeah, now he's late.
In both games, he's really done the same thing.
Now he's late to his top gromp, and Jason is there to match him. Does get a lot of damage back. Has a blast going out, but Hoptech wanted to stuff him, force the flash.
Yeah, this is what I would want as Xin Zhao. I would want to play aggressive in the Karthus jungle because I know that he can't duel, but takes a little bit of an awkward time.
Oh, he's able to punch it down.
No flash on Uta. Hey,
he's able to punch it down. Big plays from Keyshawn, setting up for the Gromp there. Does Panma jump in? Yes, he does. Flash out from Dragon Koreans, making sure Steel Tips can't contribute with the door. And nice force in the bot lane somehow. Cridians and Panma still taking good options, but now with that stun, Cridians has to get back. Flash for flash in bot side.
Yep, there's the Braum weakness again. Although Dragon is playing pretty aggressive and needs to be able to dodge the Braum Qs if she wants to play this way.
Yeah, we do see Panma opening up a very large CS lead here in the bot lane, also opting for the call. So even if he's not itemizing for the all-in, he is definitely more than willing to take it. We do see Xin Zhao getting first move over onto the Grubs Karthus. Not yet starting up that Dragon, maybe a bit hesitant with all the scrapping in bot lane with Braum not out on the map, and we'll just take a base. But now Ragnarok here in top side. You can't face break that as Gao's going to try to crash down. You can't move the Olaf. But Hoptech now has to flash forward. Keyshawn has no summoners. No way out of this one. The Aftershock will do its job. But Jason is here in the response, and Hoptech Is he going to be able to survive? Another wind becomes lightning, but actually it's Cyrac turning him into spirit motes. Nice turnaround with the Ahri.
Yeah, super well coordinated from the side of Jason the Fifth. Unfortunate that Keyshawn Robinson does have to go down, but the plan did look like it was executed properly. They knew that the hero's entrance was going to come out, but Cyrac was already on the move for that. So they pick up the 1 for 2.
Yeah, nicely played there by Cyrac, making sure that even though the Galio has that ultimate to move, he's able to follow through on the play, and it takes a bit too long. No global presence with the Requiem just yet for Yuta to try to turn these plays around completely in the favor of Big Rat, as more punishment for Cridians in the bot lane.
Yeah, he's just getting beat down. Every single time the shield is up, he has to use it. But yeah, that's another thing I wanted to touch on. Xin Zhao Ahri is a very, very strong 2v2 in my opinion. It's like a parallel with like Lee Sin Ahri, Lee Sin LeBlanc. Lee Sin and Xin Zhao are two very comparable champions that love having a mid laner that can gap close for you in order for you to set you up. And their 2v2 capabilities are just very strong. So I doubt that Big Rat want to like play into that 2v2. So I really want to see how J5 use it.
Oh, Optec able to get away from the charm and find himself a solid trade with that Aftershock. And Cyrac got to be a bit more respectful of the Galio punches, but nothing lethal in mid lane.
CS lead building up a little bit in the top lane here.
Yeah, wave in a very favorable position for Keyshawn.
Yeah, it's a great wave state for Keyshawn as well. He has the wave frozen here, and he knows that the Karthus just went bot side.
Yeah, this
Starry's just being starved here.
Yeah, it's been an interesting matchup to watch because Starry kind of dominated in that game 1 up against the Garen. Actually, we already have a Karthus ult being dropped. Doesn't kill off Cyrac. It looks like that's what it was going for. Ahri barely able to survive. I would like to argue that first strike would have killed him, but I don't know. Actually,
yeah, maybe.
Oh, we may have another all-in. Nice flash over the Encore, but Xin Zhao's making his way down here. The exhaust buys so much time, but Panma still gets a kill, still gets the reset, and now the Winter's Bite trying to convert onto Jason the other, but Cridian's still gonna drop. Oh, they stand behind him, and the Guardian proc gets Cridian's out.
Wow. Yeah, Dragon is just playing so aggressively. Like, she really wants to exploit the matchup, but you have to be patient. You know, it is a Braum. You can poke her. But one misstep and the Tristana will just take advantage immediately.
Maybe they were trying to lay a trap, let Jason the other swoop in and clean up, but not even able to get the kill on the Braum is heartbreaking for that side, that bot lane. The CS lead on Panma is continuing to grow. You will even cash in more gold once that call finishes. We'll see how well this Tristana can perform with these leads.
The Church of Padma believers are crying in their seats right now. Enjoy. 2-0 up, 20 CS up. It's really his game to carry right now.
Well, Sightless is going to try to turn around the top side plays. Keyshawn slams Starring's ground and a nice flash on the Haymaker. And now he's maybe going to look for the duel onto Yuta. Decimate times out. Now going to try to go back in. Flash out from Yuta. Keyshawn will fall eventually, though. 1 for 1 in top.
Man, he brought Hoptech over. That's unfair. Make it a 1 for 1. Great kill onto the top lane in a 1v1. And Keyshawn says, "You need 3 to kill me?"
Yeah, we didn't have the Ragnarok that time for Starry to stand her ground against the shows, against all that displacement that Set can throw out. We'll instead just have to cover up some mid lane EXP. And thought there may have been an angle for Xin Zhao on bot side, but they decide against it. He takes away some camps and is content with the game.
Yeah, I think Big Rat are really content scaling. Sure, this Olaf is getting beaten down, but if your Tristana and your Galio are really ahead, your Olaf will be fine just coming in and taking swings at the front line in every fight while Tristana just mows them down. So honestly, not the worst position for her. Sure, she's like getting beaten down in lane and stuff, but she'll catch up. And Set is going to play the Rune King first, so it's not really like the most tanky right off the bat. so can be exploited in these early fights if Tristana can get a sizable advantage or like gets the Navori Flicker Blades fast.
Yep.
So
I'm certainly not surprised that Keyshawn is itemizing for that 1v1. Been his bread and butter throughout this tournament. He's been a very solid player in those side lanes. We'll look to do the same thing here on this more fragile set build. No mathematically correct health gains or anything like that. We do see the second round of grubs get started up by the Xin Zhao. And I think you talked about it, the fact that this mid lane jungle duo is so threatening for the Ahri Xin Zhao. And the sets ahead, of course. Big Rat not really willing to contest a lot of these, so even though they have the faster clear, even though they have the Karthus that is so good at doing the grubs, they do lose out on 4 of them as Steel Tips gonna be okay. Dodging out on the Glacial Fissure.
yeah, good movement. Dodges out of both the skill shots. And Steel Tips, as a reward, does get to catch this wave. Encore throw now in a quite zealous attempt.
I mean, it would have been really cool if it hit. Would have been a cancel on the jump, maybe. But no cigar that time. They will definitely have it up for the next big fight over Dragon, unless we have any shenanigans before then. Requiem is available, so there could always be a play lurking for Big Rat.
Yeah, looking at the item breakpoints, Malignus is completed for T-Cyrac, and Titanic Hydra is completed for Xin Zhao. So these 2 champions are pretty strong right now. Blade of the Rune King also completed on set. First items completed for jungle, mid, and top, so they will probably be looking to play towards top side. This is Herald is spawning soon too, so it could be a potential fight coming up.
Hoptek's teleporting into mid. Cyrac gonna make sure he's charmed up, but the home guard speed and taunt and all this stuff means Hoptek is a-okay. That aggressive teleport. Keyshawn, of course, not playing with teleport, so any dragon fight is a bit harder for him to join if they want to take advantage of those item spikes. So we'll see if it's just going to be them trading sides, scrapping around the Herald. It's a bit of an all-in.
Yeah, there's 3 tops right here.
Yep. So Big Rat more than happy to contest the top lane, but Jace the other are willing to brawl. They teleport Cyrac up. Olaf tries to go Ragnarok, but it's Yuta that dies. It's 1-for-1 as Olaf's trying to lifesteal. It won't be enough. The Requiem is not enough to trade, and now Steel Tips getting the slows, gets the arrow, flashing in with the Ranger's focus. Can't quite get it done as the charm hits into the Dragon CC. The roam from the Seraphine not quite turning the tables, but still good stuff for Jason to the 5th.
Wow, such close series of events. I'm actually really surprised that top lane. Oh, the movement.
He's just gonna try to solo him. He's gonna look for the concussive blows, but he's a bit too greedy, too aggressive. As actually Cyrac may also be too greedy. He's got no spirit dashes. He's got no flash. He needs Dragon to speed him up as Starry's trying to get in here. Lands the axe. Cyrac is going to survive. And now maybe we just keep on chasing this Seraphine. Set is almost in the area. Encore's there onto 2. And that will deter the play.
Man. Yeah. This Olaf is really just trying to reach for anything, honestly. Ghost popped and TP back in. But yeah, like I was saying, I was really surprised that the top play didn't amount to much more. I thought Xin Zhao and Ahri were in such a stronger position, but it really came out to just a 1-for-1 or like a 1-for-2 or something. And Galio got out. But yeah, I'm really surprised. Dragon over now at least is a good reward for that play. But they're still 1.5k down on the map.
Yeah, the side of Big Rat still maintain that lead despite the fact that the neutral objectives not entirely gone their way. A lot of that gold, of course, on Panma, who was able to wreck up the entirety of that bot lane tower due to the mismatch in support roams there. Critians, he's been playing a bit too happy on this Braum. You're not on an engaged champ. He keeps trying to make it happen onto Steel Tips. Has at least forced them away from the tower, I'll give him that, but needlessly, perhaps losing the flash there. Not ideal, as we size up the map now. Bit of a brawl in top as Arthas is here to turn this around. Haymaker, though, flashing forward, doesn't quite get the damage. The ult doesn't matter. He just goes right through him. And now maybe Yuta can do the job in top side, but It's hard to land these Qs. Keyshawn is just dodging all of them. We can't hit a single Skittle as Keyshawn's just going to go in to punch this guy down. Galio has to join up, but Keyshawn already kills the Karthus. Now in mid lane, it's Critians trying to get back, but Cyrax's in on top of him with the dash. And Jason the other on a killing spree.
A great capitalization on the side of Jason the other. Here we go again. Maybe not, but yeah. They're trying to hunt down multiple spots in the map. We know Keyshawn is absorbing so much, so then they try to push him in mid next. And Ari has great setup. They got Enchanted Crystal Arrow too. They got Encore wasn't used, but that can stretch the whole lane too. Like I'm saying, like this comp just does so many things well. It's such a good comp for them to use.
Yeah, that will net them the win of the Rift Herald. So continuing to stack up those neutral objectives. We'll see where they want to target it. Yeah, right now, we're seeing Keyshawn really do a lot of good work here, drawing so much attention and coming out in one for ones, in one for O's at times. It does mean Panma gets some alone time, continues to wreck and shop on these towers.
Yeah. I mean, you can win out on the map all you want, but in the end, this comes down to Panma. He can shred all these turrets on, like, Demolitionist Tristana, and he is the one outputting all the damage with the Galio Braum in front of him. So we really need to see how far we can take this Tristana as we move him around the map.
Well, Keyshawn looking to see how far he can take his lead as he's just going to go for the all-in onto Olaf. Ragnarok comes down, and that'll be a walkout for the Viking.
Yeah, Starry needs to turn tail and run every time this set is on the screen. Definitely very strong right now.
Yeah, and they're going to funnel more gold into him with this Herald coming down in top lane. Galio's going to try to teleport up there to at least deny the tower take.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can really do, honestly. With Hero's Entrance available too, we're able to move Galio around the map. So it's kind of fine. Just put him in the top lane and wave clear against the set there.
I do want to ask you, but since Big Rat have been so willing to play this Galio throughout the tournament, what do you think has made this such an important pick for them?
Well, actually, the Galio pick was something like even before the tournament started, we scrimmed J5 and they played Galio because I think they're picking it so early because Cyrax is also a Galio player and Jason the other would love a Galio pick. So first off, it's just a very contested pick against these two teams. Second off, because of this AP or like high damage jungler meta within DMV rivals, like a lot of the junglers love playing Wukong, Gwen, these AP farming junglers, even like Kindred. Galio is just such a good setup champion for them. And especially the build right now, that tank is like so strong. Like if it was like AP Galio or something, maybe it would be different. But tank Galio is particularly strong. So it just matches really well with a lot of players in the tournament.
Yeah, we'll see how Hoptech's able to convert that in the mid game, as also having that ability of the Hero's Entrance to move around can also be super useful. We've seen with the fact that Starry's taken TP on this Olaf, they are willing to play for the map, play more as a unit, make sure that they can have that map mobility. Get an extra one with the Galio ultimate. We do have Dragon coming up in 13 seconds. How do you see this fight going?
Well, Big Rat once again have control over the river right now. They've usually been on time and been the first ones into river with mid prio. They've been pretty clean about it. J5 are not really too worried. They have 2 dragons already, so they can let this one go. It's whatever. No need to risk anything. T-Cyrax is just gonna poke his head here, but yeah, it's not too big of a deal. They got plenty of they bought plenty of time with the early dragons they got.
Yep, they will certainly let that one go. Not quite able to get enough onto the mid tower to take it down before Panma comes on over. So much more quiet mid game than what we got last time with all those explosive playmaking ultimates. So both teams taking it a bit slower. Jason to the 5th, of course, not wanting to make any sort of overzealous plays that can end in their demise for good in this tournament. So we're seeing still relatively measured play, but Jason the other and Cyrax have both turned up here. in this third game. Started out very rough in game 1, but they've gotten their legs under them, and they're definitely being a key source of action for their team.
Yeah, they've really shown up. Their early games have been very strong. So they've been performing well, at least prior to like the 20-minute mark, as we saw last game.
Prior to needing to hit the last breath button.
Yeah, it's just we need them to execute past the 20-minute mark now, as we've just crested it. But yeah, I just really need them to. I really need J5 to play through this set more and see how they can get Set involved in these fights. Because Set is very good at dealing with champs like Galio, Braum. You know, they're engagers. They take a lot of space. So why not just throw them into the face of your of the enemy AD carry? And because he's so far ahead, the Bork is not like the best team fighting item, so it might be a little bit difficult. But Jason the Other is plenty fed as well. Should be able to do a lot of work in fights as well.
Cyrac had no vision, so he was very scared of that play converting into something messy, as Keyshawn losing 11 HP, but he's got a lot of friends on top side. Haymaker, Shield, and Redemption required, but Pama just wants to go in. He's going to take him down. Now Requiem going to come from the skies as well, as Cridians engaging in onto Jason. Here comes Optech in on the Gargoyle, takes away the escape plan, but the Encore is pretty nice from Dragon. There's just no one doing anything. Pama's diving in, and that is not the angle for the Tristana, as Cyrac trying to contribute on the side, but meanwhile in the middle of the fight, it is Hoptech, it is Sightless staying alive. JCR trying to scrap it out. Titanic, Xin Zhao can't get it done, and now Galio looking to slam a third skull into the earth, as down goes Cyrac.
The Jasons almost managed to clutch out the fight, but that Requiem, man, and the Karthus passive at the end, just throwing Qs out everywhere, secures the kills. Oh my god, that fight was so close. This Galio pick is really working wonders.
Yeah, Optech. We keep talking about Panama and how he's going to be the key guy in the fight. Starts it off right, jumps into his death, and all of a sudden, okay, Hoptech's like, okay, I'll clean up, buddy. I'll clean it up. I'll get the 3 kills. And now that gold lead looking a bit more worrisome for Jason to the 5th.
Yeah, that fight opened up a 4K gold lead now. But these fights are still so close. Like, honestly, that fight was so winnable if the set was in it. And, I mean, also, like, the Panama just jumped into 3 people. We don't worry about that. But yeah, like, just get it. They need to get Keyshawn involved in these fights, and they need to find angles for him. No TP is a little bit hard for him to find flanks, but being able to just throw Galio or Braum straight back into the team is like a great way to approach these fights too, if they're just able to execute it.
Yeah, Braum.
Teleport here.
Oh, actually, they look for a pick onto Cridians as Cyrac does connect the charm, but Panama's uncontested on the side. Ash Arrow, though, is going to hit him, and now Cyrac finishes the job. Glacial Fissure is too little, too late. Encore to try to keep the show rolling. Jason the Other diving in, has Titanic Hydra, has the damage to put down Cridians. Meanwhile, we're just dueling to the death in top lane, but only Starry is dying up there. Charm again going to keep up the play. Jason finds his opposite number, and all of a sudden, there's 4 dead on the rats. Requiem's okay, but Baron is still started up.
Beautiful execution this time around. They got the picks that they needed. Cridians, once again, like, it was so hard for this Braum to play. After the shield is down, he's just running for his life. And then the arrow onto Tristana. Panama really just thought he could just drop Buster Shot down and one-shot everyone. But T-Cyrac was able to get in, land the Lich Bane auto, get the resets. And then top lane, it was just a 1v1 to the death. So that fight turned around huge. 4K back in the pockets of Jason to the 5th. This game is once again even at the 25th minute mark. I think I've seen this before.
Yeah, and there's so many towers on the map that they can wreck with this Baron buff. But first up, it's probably going to be this Infernal Soul fight. Don't believe any flashes were blown in that last play. Maybe Cridians, as Dragon immediately started up. Jason the Other just going to lead the charge here onto the Dragon. They want to go up to Soul Point, and they will get it quite easily. Now Cridian's trying to put up the door, just barely dodging the charm. Glacier Fissure hits on the steel tips as Olaf wants to join up, and they just shred down the Ash. Hoptech comes in on the flank as Jason the Other trying to get onto Panma, but Tristana can jump, she can fire, and she can take down the Xin Zhao. Cyrac just running. The Olaf is running the show somehow. through all the punishment he took in lane. Keyshawn trying to dish it right back here with the showstopper, but Critians doesn't care. Hoptech and Sightless are just going to chase him down. We can't miss Lay Wastes when he's CC'd, and it might be a dragon to J5, but they lose 4.
How did everyone... They just parted the Red Sea and Steeltip just took a Braum Q and he was just down for the count immediately. That was such a weird fight for Jason the Fifth. It felt like they have such a good position. They were first in the dragon, they finished the drag, and then they could move to where they needed to. But then Hoptech got a good flank, even though he didn't use the TP. Starry was just able to just run straight into the middle of everyone. And now the 4K gold lead has swung again, opened up by the side of Big Rat.
Somehow the 1 and 6 Olaf was incredibly scary for J5 to deal with there because, yeah, they weren't able to really get their front line set up. Steel Tips just gets randomly collided by the Glacial Fisher. No one able to really help him out there. Ash Arrow going wide on top. Maybe could have converted onto Hoptech, but I mean, it's just back and forth. And right now, Big Rat are the ones on top.
Yeah, once again in that fight, like you see that Keyshawn's not able to get involved, so the fight just opened up. There was not enough space for Steel Tips. Oh, he got hit anyways, but like there was not enough space for Steel Tips. Dragon was not able to throw out abilities. Just the other had to dive into everyone without any help. So they really need to get Keyshawn involved. Like he's not really... Sure, he might have played the Rune King, but he's not really a full-fledged side laner this game. He like a side lane split pusher. He really wants to get in fights.
Well, he's going to at least fight in the side lanes as often as he can, forcing the ult out from Starry there, trying to be that hope. I mean, he's converted so many side lane kills throughout this series. He's going to just flash in for it with the face breaker. Immediate ult back, and Keyshawn is going to put Starry in the dirt again in the side lanes.
Great, 1-for-1, a 1v1 kill, and we'll probably pick up the turret too. This will...
They want to engage as Cyrac is almost dead. There's the concussive blows, and now Requiem going to come down as well. Encore, but they cancel it with the Shinzao as Cyrac is going to die. Yuta's going to die. Panma just going to stay alive with the Galio dropping in on his head. Flash out from Steel Tips as Critians can't find the last winner's bite. Keyshawn, though, sticking in the bot lane.
Yeah, if he gets this tier 2, it's kind of worth the death of T Cyrac, especially after how much they used on him. Oh, they got Uta on the back line too. Jason Miller just dove straight into him. So overall, that looked dicey, but in terms of gold, that was pretty worth it for the side of J5. They take the bot 2 turrets, they trade 1-for-1, and Keyshawn gets a solo kill.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch it. It feels like just as the Requiem was ready to go off, Jason the other got the Q3. I didn't quite see if it actually canceled the entire Requiem from Yuta there. The disadvantages of Karthus, of course, is that you need a die to safely channel your ult. I believe Jason the other was able to cancel that one, make the fight a bit more palatable for J5, but they still find themselves down 4K.
Yeah, this is this is the smallest 4K gold lead I've seen. Like these fights could still swing either way. And honestly, if J5 pick the engage themselves, if they pick it on their terms, it's pretty likely that they win it. Their front line is strong. They do a lot of upfront damage. They have mobility. So like if they can pick their own fights, they need to pick things on their terms.
Yeah.
And they'll do well.
We'll see how these next 50 seconds go if Jason the Fifth are content just saying, hey, we got Keyshawn getting advantages in sides, but we don't really want to fight the dragon as Fridians. Gonna tank a lot with the door. Jason the other need to be a bit careful of that Tristana. So it looks like it's gonna be a give on the dragon. Maybe they leave set in the lane. They do have 30 seconds to make up their mind though.
Yeah, Panma is still very scary. He doesn't have LDR done, but with those 3 items, he will still shred you.
Absolutely.
Keyshawn is just pinning Hoptech here. So even with TP and Hero's entrance, you can't leave this turret.
Very good stuff. We'll see how J5 want to play this fight. Panma did burn Flash in the last exchange, but critically, basically everyone on the side of J5 burned Flash in that mid fight. Infernal Dragon, though, just gets easily burned down by the Karthus, and that'll get them 2 Infernal Dragons.
Yeah, pretty tense game right now, honestly.
Oh, Starry's just
This mid turret is getting burned down. Oh,
just walks up. Heroic Entrance trying to come in. The showstopper. Not quite
Oh,
enough. The
close
taunt from Hoptech, but they can't get the Olaf alive. Massive haymaker onto Panma. He's chunked out. Sightless trying to go for a good death, but Cyrix just barely staying alive. It's gonna be Steel Tips cranking out the deeps, cranking out the arrows, but down comes the Requiem for a double. Hoptech trying to flash back. He's the lone damage dealer, I guess, alive. He's got to find a crafty way out of this one. Steel Tips closing the distance. A volley, a few more shots, and the Ashe comes to life.
like I said, they picked the fight on their terms. They have a huge chance to win it. And man, I gotta love Karthus, bro. This champion is just great. Very, very interactive.
He's fantastic. Anyway, I don't know what you're talking about. He's amazing. Why gank your lanes when you can just farm and then wait for them to do the job for you and all? And there, the ult did a lot at the end of that fight, but it is still J5 taking the Baron and now hoping to get themselves that gold, hoping to get themselves back into the gold lead position, back into this series overall.
Oh man, I really hope there's a game for this series. Is such a banger. 32 minutes into the game, the gold is dead even. These teams are so well matched. This team comp is just working wonders for J5. And I really like how they've adapted. It's looking well so far. But yeah, and Steel Tips off this Ashe. You know, Ashe has been like I don't know how to say like to put it the best way, but Ashe has been kind of a bait pick in the past few rounds of eliminations. There's been a lot of things that you could do to play around Ashe now, but Steel Tips on Ashe with the Seraphine and also against this Braum has had a lot of room to work.
Yeah, Steel Tips definitely putting his mark on this series now that he is not on support duty, shifted back into that AD role. Definitely very powerful. Even when we have moved on from the Triforce Kraken Ashe, she is still able to output amounts of DPS. I don't believe anything. So like with the IE change, it is still like crit slows for Ashe, right? Not bonus damage. I'm not sure how edge works on her.
I don't know either,
Damn.
honestly. The numbers for her slow thing are really weird. I don't play enough Ashe to know that. I just know she's good.
Yeah, and hopefully they can take that all the way to a game 3 victory. Keyshawn in the side lane with this Baron can be awfully scary. They aren't fully committing to it, just working through getting vision here on this red side.
Ooh, Dragon sneaking up here.
Keyshawn is in the wings. It looks like they want to go for a play, but Jason the other may have gone too fast. Cyrac Charm hits onto Yuta. The door comes up. The Encore gets stuffed by the Unbreakable, but Keyshawn still wants to fight. Gonna flash forward, lay down the W, but it's not enough damage. Taunt is there. No follow through though. Cyrac, oh, can't quite find the charm, and no one dies.
Yeah, Critians played that fight as perfectly as you could play it, honestly. Blocks the Encore, then saves the W to get just out of range of auto attacks. Ooh, Panma. But yeah, really saves Uta right there.
They're still going. Hoptech wants to fight. They have the Requiem coming down. They have Starry on the backline. Cyrac's already dead. Now Steel Tips has to put out the damage. He's flashing away. Heroic Entrance down. They smash away. But it's Starry that dies. Jason the other gets out alive. Gressengard putting in work as he's going to be able to kite that out. He's going to be able to stay alive. And maybe they have a re-engage. They have Seraphine healing.
Yeah, Keyshawn is pushing in the bot lane too. They need to do something right now. They're on the timer. Critians wants to walk up. But yeah, the Buster Shot saved Jason the other or something. He's still alive, and now he's going to start running the fight.
Now we did see the Ashe Arrow get buffered by Panma there. Hoptech has to go down and answer this. Jason the other trying to get the damage on tower, but flashing away. Panma's opening up. He's going to just barely get alive. Encore's back. It's time for round 2, but Jason the other needs to exit stage left. Clips him on the Glacial Fissure. A triple for Panma. Keyshawn says, don't worry, guys. I got the tower, but why are you all dead? Why am I the only one left on the map? And why is this gargoyle beating me over the head? I'll hit him with the true damage. And he gets the solo kill and actually able to walk out, but the overall fight still not good for J5.
This game is so intense. Keyshawn electing to not rotate, instead just push straight in, almost gets both Nexus turrets, this drag will probably go over to Big Rat, but the game is so opened up. It's just so close. Like, imagine if Kishan grouped, or imagine they just didn't re-engage. How much of a harder position would have been for Big Rat to play? They would have had to juggle between the Dragon, between Kishan, between re-engaging the max range Ashe and Seraphine. But they just needed a little bit more discipline.
Yeah, meanwhile, Big Rat playing that out about as well as you could. Panma stays safe as long as he can. Don't believe he even had the flash for most of that. He does. He has it up for the next one anyway. So really good stuff from him, keeping up the DPS. Steel Tips and Dragon both forced to flash in that fight. So it can be rough sledding now if a fight were to break out.
Yeah, in Panma we trust. He is full build, 350 CS. The game is in his, and I guess Karthus's hands with that R ability, but it's just so close. You kill Panma, you win the game.
Arrow hits onto Panma, but good buffer. JSN still wants to make the most of this. Set's coming in around behind them. Korean's trying to put up the door. Olaf just trying to go for broke, but it's his ankles that are getting broke. An easy kill. Encore is going to miss, but the Requiem does good work. Keyshawn's dead. Now maybe they look for the play onto JSN the other. Koreans has another Unbreakable, but Steel Tips just keeps on firing. The charm is there from Cyrac. They're able to take down the Braum, and now gets more spirit. But Panma wants to jump in. Panma wants to go triple taunt from Hoptech, and that's going to set up Panma to wreck shop. Ace for Big Rat.
They couldn't touch Panma the whole fight, and the flash in from Hoptech seals the deal. They're gonna run it down mid and end the game.
40 seconds on Cyrac, 40 seconds on Steel Tips. It started all right. They got set to the play, but it may not matter. It may be their Nexus Tower is going. There's only 4 minions on the side of Big Rat, but they don't care. They're gonna go for it. Easy demolition for Panma Jr. The Rats rise from the sewers, and they are your DMV Rivals Summer 2024 champions.
Super well played from them. That last fight, Panma just went berserk, and Hoptech knew what he had to do. They close it out in 3-0 fashion. Super well deserved from Big Rat.
Insane stuff. They're coming from losers bracket, converting it into a clean sweep here of Jason the Fifth. Really great there from the side of Big Rat. Valiant effort from Jason the other. They made it very entertaining with these last 2 games, even though scoreboard says 0 for them. It was a competitive series throughout. So best to them as they place second. The Rats, though, able to come up here. We'll see if we can drag in the entire team.
Hold on, I gotta do one by one.
Oh!
Okay.
All right, we are joined by all 5 members of the victorious Big Rat, Starry in top lane, Yuta in jungle, Hoptech mid, Panma Jr., AD, and Cridians in the support. A very hectic final game for you guys. You guys can talk whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not going to direct questions.
Who wants to speak? Who wants to speak? If I speak, I'm in trouble.
I said in the interview last week, all I need to do is play like a human and we win. And it happened the first 2 games. And then third game I don't play like a human and we still win. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to play like a human.
Damn. Yeah, honestly, my MVP of this team is everyone except me. Everyone played so well. Everyone had their moments. I felt like Crown, like back in like the SSG days. Galio Merchant.
The Galio Merchant.
Hey guys, they didn't take it away and they didn't ban it. What do you want me to do, huh? What do you want me to do? Of course I'm gonna pick it, right?
You didn't pick a game 1.
Pick it. I didn't pick a game 1 because they left open Corki and you saw how that went. And then they banned Corki every subsequent game. But no, I think we had a lot of B1s, and we actually like preferred blue side every game just so we could get our comfort. There was like 10 different B1s we could have done. Like it didn't stop at like Corki or Galio or like Tristana or anything like that, but they left open Tristana and we felt comfortable flexing that. And yeah, I felt like the game was really easy after that. I mean, Pama, you saw what he could do on the Tristana both games. Like he fucking stomped
And
the
he
bot
showed
lane.
up.
Yeah, he showed up big time. I mean, Olaf was getting I mean, Star was
I was
getting
getting a
her
little
pockets
fisted.
ran. Yeah, she was getting her pockets ran a little bit, but it's okay because she carried us this far to the finals. We couldn't have done it without her. And then Utah, honestly, if I'm a Galio merchant, Dom is a Focus merchant. Like, who are we
Perhaps.
kidding? Who are we kidding? Who are we kidding? But yeah, I think everyone just came together, wrapped it up really nicely. And this will be a team for the ages. I think one of the best teams DMV has ever seen. We had like pretty
Unbiased.
much no
Nice
competition.
ego. Nice ego.
Yeah,
Yeah, everyone's so good. It's
Yeah.
so fun to play.
yeah, good job, guys. Everyone.
Noticing the GOAT teams usually have me on it. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. That's true.
Fair enough. Anyone other than HopTech want to give their thoughts on this final game? Because it was whack. There's a lot of back and forth. And I mean, Jason the Fifth threw a lot of weird shit at you guys, right? They come out game one with Rise Graves. They transition to Yasuo Diana. And now they're just doing, I guess, whatever this
I
was.
don't think they know how to draft. I think like they were a lot better than most of their teams, but I feel like 50% of their drafts are like fine, and the other 50% it feels like someone just clicked random.
I will say though, you got to give credit to the Jasons for being the second best team. Actually, the only team we lost to the entire tournament.
Yeah, we didn't drop a single game to anybody in the tournament, except Jason's team, which we dropped 3 games. I think.
Didn't you lose
one
your
in the-
first group game?
Yeah, we lost the first group game against
So it's
them,
4.
and we lost
Oh,
2
no, it's best.
games in winners finals. Yeah, but we bounced back 3-0, like we said we would. So here we are, dubs.
Do you guys think that the 2.5 week break did anything to them?
I think it actually allowed me to get a lot more comfortable on the meta champs like Trist, Corki, and it didn't seem like Cyrac played any of those, so it was just in our favor like a bunch. Yeah.
I don't know, I was literally just playing fucking Elden Ring like the entire week leading up to this game. I played like no league.
We were a little worried losing our Talia flex with the bye Talia jungle, but I guess it worked out.
Okay, the Elden Ring practice is just training to dodge.
It's all
snapshots in the
mental.
game.
It's all mental fortitude.
Yeah.
Well, awesome showing from all 5 of you here. Wrapping it up quick for 3-0. We wanted more games, so we're very disappointed. We were hoping for a bit of a throw, but whatever you guys want, that's fine. Any final words before we end off this DMV Rivals?
This one was a lot of fun. Every team was super good. It was just a good time.
I like winning. It's fun.
Yeah.
Winning's fun too.
Yeah. GG's guys, everyone.
Yeah.
We could not have done DMV without you guys showing up to play the games, the tournament overall. I hope it was a lot of fun for everybody involved. And catch you guys on the flip side for winter DMV, right? Yeah.
Winter 2024.
Winter 2024, we'll bring it back.
PM.
We'll bring it back. Hopefully we'll get enough signups. But yeah, thank you guys so much for playing the tournament.
And with that, we will end off DMV Rivals Summer 2024. Thank you all for tuning in throughout this tournament. And we will see you guys